Hello.
Hi, good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Hi, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, ma'am. I'm Lata.
Yeah. From which club?
Naharkoil Sahar.
Sandhya, hi.
Hi, Cinda. How are you?
Good afternoon, ma'am. Good, doing good.
Hi, Cinda.
Hi, Maheshri.
How are you?
Yeah. From which club?
Naharkoil Sahar.
Sandhya, I think like
Hi,
since
Cinda.
YouTube.
How are you?
Good,
Huh?
good. There was a disturbance because I was trying to stream it through YouTube. Hi, Annam. Hello, Lakshmi.
Hi, Cinda.
Hello, Cinda.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone.
Hi, Salila.
Hi, Cinda.
So I think many of the CCCs, they are CCCs for the last 3 years, right?
Yeah.
CC.
PMJJBOல 2 lakhs of 10 கொடுப்பான் கோல்ட் இறந்தவங்க ப்ராப்பர்ட்டி அவன் போய்
അമ്മയുടെ വീഡിയോ ഓഫ് ആണ് അമ്മ ചാർജ് ഇട്ടോണ്ട്
பில்லோ எடுத்து கொடுறா. நாங்க மேல இருக்க பில்லோ கொடு.
You can say me welcome.
I have to.
Hi, Shailaja.
Hi. Hi, Annie.
Yeah, I'm ready with the PowerPoint.
Yeah, my tech expert.
Oh.
Hi, ma'am. Shaila, ma'am.
Hi, Sally.
How are you? Long time.
Long time, Sally. Good, yeah. Keeping inside the house.
Oh, yeah, correct.
Good afternoon, Shailaja, ma'am.
Good afternoon, Prabha.
Good afternoon, Beenaka.
Yeah. Hi, Shailaja.
Hi, Beena.
Beenaka, good afternoon.
Hi, everyone.
Vimla ma'am's coming, I think.
Yeah. I've just come. I don't mind. I'm just connecting from my
Sandhya.
phone.
Hi, Vimla.
Sandhya.
Hi, Salila.
Hi.
I'm trying to.
Hi, Cinda. Annam also is coming.
Has Lakshmika come in?
Hi, Shailaja. Hi,
Hi, Annam. Hi.
Hi,
Can you all hear me? I'm coming on 2 devices because the computer's microphone is gone.
No, now we can hear. No problem.
Okay. So the voice comes from one and then my video comes from another one. Hope there is no.
Oh my God.
Excess usage, Annam.
See.
I'm already here, Beena.
Yeah. Lakshmi ma'am is here.
Yeah.
Aka's there, Lakshmika?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we're all here.
So hi, Shailaja, Beena.
Hi,
members, Cinda, Annam.
Hi, Veela.
Hi,
Vela.
Lakshmi Aunty. Hello, Vela. Yes.
Hi.
All CCC members.
Yes.
They're all there.
All very seasoned CCCs.
But they don't want the CCCs on the EC. Huh?
Yeah.
I don't know. I
Seems
can't understand why.
rather a paradox.
Yeah.
Why,
Yes.
Shailaja? Why do they do that?
I really don't know. That is the association instruction being. I really don't know why.
And then their name is not supposed to come on the letterpad.
All
the
these instructions so
meaningless. And then, but they're supposed to teach the club about it.
Meaningless.
All these things now, as Vimla ma'am and Lakshmi ma'am said, all these are guidelines. Actually.
My club said we've already put the CCC name on the letterhead and the bulletin. We are not taking it out.
Yeah, that's what.
It's rather stupid, I think. I mean, they want us to guide them with all the rules and regulations, and they don't want us anywhere to be seen. We are supposed
correct.
Be behind the scene.
Behind the scene only. True.
I know. Anyway.
Hello, Lakshmi. Hi, Lakshmi.
But this time they have sent a special message. Need not be a member of. They should not take up executive post. They are not told that.
Rashmi is going to be the most unpopular person giving all these rules.
President, secretary, treasurer, ISO, or editor, they cannot become. They can be a member of the EC, no problem. That is what the instruction says.
They should be a member of the EC, because after all, they are taking such an important post.
Yeah.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
But they're saying it is not mandatory also, Cinda.
That's what they said. It's not mandatory. Like, I think the president and secretary naturally become an EC member. The club CCC also should have such a position.
Yeah. In our club, CCC is part of the club EC.
Okay.
So she's not holding any post.
That's what you mean. Not all the 4 posts.
CCC itself. The problem is CCC itself was recently introduced, no?
Yeah,
Yeah,
On YouTube.
yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, 2 years only, correct.
Yeah. So the thing is, even international wise, only
Vimla, your voice is breaking.
Yeah, ma'am's voice is breaking, ma'am.
onto the
And it's stuck. Her picture's stuck. It's not.
YouTube. I would like
I
to
know today. Let me just go trying to. 1 minute. Let me just go out and come again.
Yeah, I was just saying that we are live on YouTube for those viewing us through YouTube.
And I think time is 3.
3 o'clock.
Yeah.
As soon as Vimla joins, I think we can start.
Yeah, give me a minute. Okay, I think my 1 minute.
Shailaja, when
Yes.
you speak to us, I think many of the clubs are not sure whether there has to be 3 C's or 4 C's or, so you clarify that when you tell.
Yeah.
Clubs don't know.
Yeah.
So you clarify.
C to the power of 3. Huh?
Yeah, yes.
C to the power
of 3, correct. For the clubs, correct.
For the clubs, that credential word doesn't come.
Not there. Only Constitution Committee Chairman.
Okay.
So they're all very uncertain. Yeah? Sometimes they put 4, sometimes they put 3. So you clarify it so that they all become clear. Yeah. But at district level, you have the credential, isn't it? And at the
Yes.
So
We have got 4. The club has
4.
got 3.
Yeah.
The association has got 4.
4.
That post itself is confusing. That's the problem.
Yeah. And we don't have to attend the committee meetings.
Yeah. Because every time everybody asking me, when their meeting is going on also, they are sending me, ma'am, how many seats? 3 seats or 4 seats?
Yeah. It's gone.
Champaga auntie is joining.
Hi. Hello.
Hello, auntie. Hi.
Hello.
Hello, auntie.
I think tomorrow we'll be missing this opportunity every day.
Yeah.
And greeting.
Last day of the week long.
Tomorrow at this time, I will feel very lonely.
Yeah. We will call you on video call, auntie.
Okay, then. Thank you. Thanks a lot. My dearies, thank you. I'm honored. I don't know what to say.
Hello, Champaga.
Hello, Lakshmi. Hello, Beena.
Hi, Akka.
Hello, Anita.
Hello, Beena.
Hello, everybody. Surya Prabha.
Yeah, good
I could see a little sometimes here. Veila. Nice to see you.
Yeah.
Hello, Shailu.
Hi, auntie.
Andrews, we spoke this morning.
Archana, yeah, she's the club.
Hello, Beena.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Vimla, hello.
Hi. There's something wrong with my.
Now we can see you. Yeah.
Okay.
We can hear you. Yeah.
I've joined from my phone today, so.
Somebody has to mute, I think.
Yeah. Some video, something is
On
playing in the background.
yesterday we spoke about reusing things, no?
Yeah, yes.
Yeah, I always take the covers, the mail from which we get. I take out the covers and cut it neatly, open it out and make it upside down and make nice covers and send it to an orphanage here. For the
Very
past
good,
2
very
years,
good.
I'm doing that.
Very good, auntie.
Very nice.
While
You
listening
can
to
give
the
us a
TV,
demo.
instead of just sitting idle. See, I'm such big covers we have, especially medical literature. Lots of medical literature is coming. So I make covers and send it.
So Jambaga can give a demo on how.
No, not demo.
Yes, correct.
No, because yesterday itself I wanted to say reusing means that we can very easily do it and send it to some firms firms which cannot afford. So this is a sort of saving for them also, buying new covers. It looks like a new cover only when you turn it outside.
Auntie is keeping
As
herself very
Lakshmi ma'am
busy.
said, you can once demonstrate, auntie.
Okay.
Once you do that.
It's not that big thing.
Even then, everybody will understand and they can also do it.
All in. Cinda?
Cinda.
Your sound is being heard, Cinda.
Yeah.
No. Some video, something in the background.
Is it the YouTube streaming?
I think so. YouTube streaming is coming. I think so.
If you mute everyone, I think no outside noise we can.
True.
This lady has birthdays and I tell you, you just remember, she's
Start, Cinda.
Annam, shall we start?
Yes. Can you all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you but not see you.
Oh, we can see her.
Yes, I am on two systems. Okay.
Okay.
One has a microphone, the other one is not working.
Okay. Yeah, now I can see you. You are not in the first screen. Just your name was there.
Start.
But we couldn't hear you.
Can we start, Cinda?
Can't hear.
Can't hear. Not at all audible.
You can't hear me?
It's not audible.
My God, I'll just log in again, please. I'll just log in again.
When Annam logs in, Surya Prabha, shall we start?
I can hear you, Ma.
Yes.
Annam, we can hear you.
You all can hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
People?
Okay. You all can hear me now? It's okay?
Yes.
Okay then.
So, shall we start with the prayer? Prabha?
Yes, okay. Instill in us, O Lord, the true meaning of friendship. Never let us forget that we are all thy children, notwithstanding the differences in our culture and creeds. Endow us with a desire to serve our fellow men, remembering that we too often need help whenever or wherever the need for service. Help us to be ready to serve, endeavoring to make our badge of inner will worthwhile, ensuring that we have not lived in vain. Thank you.
And then we move on to your welcome address.
A very warm welcome to one and all present here. Can you all hear me? Can you all hear me?
Yes, very feeble.
Warm
Very much
welcome
feeble.
to our conveners, past International Inner Wheel Board Director, Vimla Ma'am, past Association Secretary, Beena Raja Singh, PDC, Lakshmi Periyanan, and the District EC, the incoming district officers, and the club officers and the club CCC, and all others who are present here as well as on the YouTube. A very warm welcome to all of you. And today here we are on the last day, although we have another digital session after a day or so. Today is the last day and we will be missing this really, this 3 o'clock we will be missing. And today we have our faculties, PDC Lakshmi Periyanan. She's also a walking encyclopedia, I should say, of all the knowledge of inner wheel and bylaws thoroughly. Then she's here to take the classes for the session on the guidelines for all the club officers. And we have our ever bubbling and enthusiastic PDC and CCC, the district CCC, Shailaja Pankaj, to take the sessions on the club guidelines for the club CCC. Hope you will all enjoy this and hope you will miss this also tomorrow at this time. A warm welcome to all of you. Thank you, Cinda.
Thank you, Annam. Yeah, as Annam said, today we are indeed lucky that we have two powerful ladies to deliver today's session. For CCC, we have our district CCC, Shailaja Pangat, and for the EC members to tell them about their etiquettes and all, we have PDC Lakshmi Periyanan. Both of them are like the stewards of our district, ready to deliver with power-packed messages. So I hope all of you incoming office bearers, you listen to her very patiently. And now we are 99 participants on the Zoom and live streaming, YouTube live streaming is going on. I hope many joined there. Now we move on to our to the convener of the session, past International Inner Wheel Board Director Vimla Abraham. Over to you, Vimlanti.
You're muted, ma'am.
Sorry, okay. Sorry, I'm just getting back from my phone to my laptop. That's why. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Good evening, everyone. District Chairman Annam, incoming Chairman Cinda, all the members of the EC of District 321, my co-chairman Lakshmi and Beena, all the PDCs, all the presidents and incoming officers. I hope a lot of Constitution Committee chairmen of the clubs are there. Anyway, we've been having a whole week of sessions and we're coming to the close of it. And it's interesting because when we come to the close of any session is when you're really going back to the ground rules. That is going to the how do you function? What are the rules? What are the guidelines? It's like going on a road and saying no. And there are certain markings on a road which says no entry, and this is one way. The similar way, we also have certain rules and regulations to follow, and of course, in between there is a little bit of bending according what you require, but the main way you follow, you have to follow the Constitution and the method of how you move forward with the Constitution at hand. So that's why we keep saying that we are not a kitty party. We are not just a whole lot of ladies meeting together. We follow rules and regulations which has been laid down by the bylaws. I don't want to go into it because you have two others explaining about the thing, which I mean, we will also put in our word whenever. You're in good hands. You have PDC Lakshmi and Shailaja, who's the Constitution Committee Chairman of our district. Both of them will guide you through the session. See, what is interesting, and sometimes many people say this constitution and bylaws are the most boring thing. But once you know, it's nice to be to know how anything works, because somebody who knows any system, even if you take every day you use your mixie, but you do not know how to put on the mixie at home, and somebody else had to help you out, and every time you're asking somebody for the laws. But if you know how to handle it and do it, you do an excellent job. Because basically, it is very, very simple. And once you like it, and I think been on the Constitution for ages, from the National Constitution Chairman, District Club, everything, and still on the National Constitution Committee. So I find it a very interesting subject to be dealing with. So friends, enjoy and listen. And sometimes people say, oh, constitution is the most dry subject, but it's always lovely to know about it and how a club works. So please enjoy it, and you are in very good hands of Lakshmi and Shailaja, who will be leading the session today. And of course, there are all the others who will put in their little word whenever necessary. So pay attention, enjoy it, relax, and it's always nice to know how an organization works.
Thank you, Andy. Thank you for explaining the purpose of the session to our incoming office bearers in a very simple manner. Now we are moving on with the session. So, which is the first, Shailaja? Are we having the CCC or the EC member session first? Shailaja?
Whichever.
Okay. So shall we move on with the EC members first?
Yeah, sure.
I invite our past district chairman and co-convener of Siksha, PDC Lakshmi Periyanan, to do the honor.
Thank you, Cinda. Just mute everyone so that there's no outside noise. Yeah. So District Chairman Annam, incoming Chairman Cinda, Convener of Siksha Vimala, Co-Convener Beena, District EC, PDCs, EC members of all the clubs in our district, and CCC Chairman. Good afternoon to all of you. So I'm indeed very happy to have been given this opportunity. Thank you, Cinda, for giving me this assignment. So let me move on directly to the subject. So dear EC members, each of you have attended the individual training sessions every day, and you have been given detailed guidelines by the expert faculties. You would have also received the PowerPoint presentations pertaining to your post. Today, all of you are here together, the entire EC of each club, and I therefore would like to give a short briefing about the functioning of the executive committee, the club administration, and about your specific duties. So let's start with the club administration. How is the club administered? The club is administered and governed by the club EC, which consists of 3 categories of officers. A, the club officers. They are the president, the immediate past president, the vice president, the secretary, and the treasurer. The B, the other members. They are the assistant secretary or joint secretary, as they may be called, the editor or the club correspondent, and the international service organizer. Apart from this, you will have 6 other committee members. So these are the basic essential persons who form the executive committee. Many clubs have their seniors, that is either the PDCs or some senior past presidents, to be as advisors so that they could have their guidance. They also have many subcommittees for the smooth and seamless functioning. This category of people will be invited to the committee meetings. They do not form part of the executive committee. There are some club rules that all the EC and the club members should know. The faculties of the previous sessions have touched upon these points, but today, since you're all here together, I shall consolidate and give a brief guideline. For the club to function and be active, you need to conduct regular general body meetings once a month or 10 meetings in a year as a minimum requirement. The bylaw book also says one annual general meeting where the yearly report and the treasurer's report will be given. This is by the bylaws. I would suggest that if you hold such an AGM, it should be a closed business meeting and do not have any outsiders invited to it. But as a normal practice, all clubs have a valedictory function at the end of the year so that they can celebrate all the achievements of the year which is just closing. You can have this AGM apart from the valedictory function. You also have executive committee meetings to take important decisions regarding the club projects and programs. These meetings can be held as often as necessary, says the bylaw. But as a practice, many clubs have monthly committee meetings or bi-monthly committee meetings as may be required, so that the club finances and allocations for projects can be discussed. Also, in these committee meetings, resolutions, important resolutions can also be passed. For example, you need resolutions for opening bank account. You need resolutions to appoint auditors. You need resolutions to say who is going to operate the account. Nominations which need to be sent from your club to appoint your voting delegates. All these need resolutions, and all these must be first passed in the committee meeting and then taken to the general body meeting. So we can say that these resolutions are necessary for some decisions which have long-standing impact. Next comes the quorum. For all these meetings, especially for the EC and general body meetings where important decisions are taken, a quorum is required. A quorum is nothing but a stipulated attendance requirement. For EC meetings, it is 4 members who should be present at the minimum. For general body meetings, it is 20% of the club membership. Next, we move on to the club protocol. Every club should follow a protocol and decorum in conducting their meetings. The meetings should be orderly and they should follow the prescribed procedures. An agenda format has been given to the clubs. This can be followed and kept as a guideline. Punctuality at all these meetings is very important, especially when we invite outside guests. We cannot make them wait unnecessarily. Even for committee meetings, it is better that all members come on time so that the meeting can be conducted in an effective way. Now, let's move on to the duties and roles of each office bearer. I give you a short narration of these duties so that all of you will understand what each other's duties are and work in coordination. I have taken just the short basic duties as stated in the bylaws. First, let us see what the president needs to do basically. The president is the chief officer of the club. In social terms, I would say that she is like the head of a family with a motherly, caring, and considerate view on everything. She supervises all the club activities and delegates work to the members. She oversees the adherence and compliance of all the budget prepared, which will be prepared in coordination with her by the treasurer. She should be prompt in her correspondence and share important information from the district, association, and international, which has been sent to her. The vice president shall deputize for the president and preside at the meetings in the absence of the president. The immediate past president shall preside at meetings in the absence of the president or the vice president. But it is only the ruling president who can wear the collar. Neither the vice president nor the immediate past president wears the collar even when they chair the meeting. The duties of the secretary. The secretary shall send out meeting intimations and notices. She will maintain attendance registers, record minutes, maintain minutes book separately for the committee meetings and for the general body meetings. She will deal promptly with all the correspondence, and as said for the president, she will share all correspondence received from the district, association, or international. She will send out the election meeting and AGM meeting notices. She will deliver the vote of thanks, as the president will deliver the welcome address and also call the meeting to order. The president will call the meeting to order and adjourn the meeting, and the secretary will deliver the vote of thanks. The secretary, in short, is the kingpin of the club. She has to function very systematically so that the club functions smoothly. The duties of the treasurer. The treasurer is the treasure chest of the club. She holds the treasure chest. She is the custodian of the club funds. She shall receive all the monies, that is either subscription or donations, on behalf of the club. It is only the treasurer who can handle the money. She has to maintain account books, one for the club subscriptions and one for the charity or project account. She must issue receipts for all the money received, whether the money will be in cash, check, draft, or bank remittances. The treasurer has to maintain vouchers and keep detailed accounts of all money transactions. The treasurer, along with the president or secretary, are the authorized signatories for the funds in the bank. She must receive the audited reports for the previous year and arrange to audit the accounts for the current year after the inner wheel year closes. In the beginning of the year, she has to prepare and present a budget in coordination with the president. Now we move on to the ISO's duties. The ISO is the club's ambassador. There is plenty of scope for interesting activity for the ISO. But the main duty of the ISO is to form link clubs within the country and overseas. She just stretches her hands of friendship across borders and seas. Exchanging club flags, organizing competitions for members in the club and in the district is also part of her duty. But all this has to be in moderation. The duties of the editor. The editor is the PRO of the club. As you all know, pen is a mighty tool. The main duty is to publish a bulletin, newsletter, which contains all the activities of the club, programs, projects, and events of the club, district, association, and international. A good bulletin gives a good impression and shows the high standards of the club. So great care should be taken about the appearance, content, and editing. She is also assigned with the duty of updating the website of the club. What does the joint secretary do? The joint secretary, in the absence of the secretary, acts as secretary at the meeting, helps the secretary in all correspondence and other duties. What are the duties of the other committee members? Their duty is to attend the committee meetings and participate in the discussions and give their valuable support. In today's scenario, where Zoom meetings are held, a tech-savvy member can be appointed as the Zoom coordinator. The 6 EC members, the various subcommittee chairmen, can all contribute to their ideas and efforts to keep the club active and throbbing. As I told you, regular attendance, either for the committee meeting or for the general body meeting, is the first step to success. As I have said earlier, all of you must be aware of each other's roles and duties. That is why I have given a brief recap of everyone's duties today. Though each of you has specific responsibilities, when required, please extend your helping hand to each other in carrying out the various duties. Always work in coordination with the president, since she is the head of your club. Attend district, association, and international events. This will be a great learning experience for you. For a club to have a healthy and happy atmosphere, mutual respect and recognition of each other as a person is absolutely necessary. Appreciation of each other's talents and abilities will give a lot of happiness to all of you. Healthy interactions and discussions for the common and larger interest of the club should be your goal and focus. You, the EC, are the core team steering the club for the year. So bear this in mind and work with a team spirit in a harmonious and cooperative manner. Have a balanced attitude. Be cordial in your behavior. Be gracious and graceful in whatever you say or do. Be open to suggestions and give no room for gossip or ego clashes. We are all here to be friends, and serve together. Let's enjoy each other's company and love the duties that each one has undertaken. I would close with the following 4 steps for a healthy atmosphere and 4 steps for praiseworthy accomplishment. For a healthy attitude, I would say you need to follow the 4 F's, very important in life. 1, friendliness. Be friendly to all your co-members. 2, frankness. Be frank. Be open-minded. Don't have hidden agendas. 3, fairness. Be fair, not partial or not to be prejudiced. 4, firmness. Be firm in following the ideals of innovation. The 4 steps for accomplishment. 1, plan purposefully. 2, prepare prayerfully with devotion and dedication. 3, proceed positively. 4, pursue persistently. So, with these few words, I close my briefing and guidelines for the AC members. I hope you will find it useful. So good wishes and blessings in all your endeavors. Thank you very much for your patient listening. Thank you, Cinda, for giving me this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Andy, for that wonderful session. You covered every session so fast, and I hope all the EC members present here, like whatever you heard during your own session, but this was like a recap where you could capture everybody's duties. I hope you have understood each other's duties. That would be really helpful for all of you to understand each other's duties. Thank you so much, Andy. And regarding this session, the office bearers, if you have any doubts, you can clarify now itself before we move on to the next session. You can unmute yourself and clear your doubt. There are no comments or doubts in the chat box. If any of you have any doubts, you can directly ask her. Looks like after the individual session and this session, everybody is thorough with their responsibilities and duties.
So it's nice. There are no doubts raised.
Thank you, Andy. And now we move on to the next session.
Can I ask one question? I thought I hadn't unmuted. I was talking and I hadn't unmuted. There's one thing I wanted to ask PDC Lakshmi. In the functioning, you said you had your subcommittee members. Are they also part of the EC? Do they also have a vote when you're voting for something?
No.
They're just there.
Only like even the advisors, we are all invited as advisors.
Okay.
And the subcommittee members, like we have committees for fundraising, for program, for fellowship. You know, we have 4 or 5 subcommittees like that for specific projects as well. So they all participate in the committee meeting to just, share their views, and know what's happening. But the voting is only for the EC.
Only for
even for nominations or resolutions or passing the report, the minutes, or the the treasurer's statements. Everything is only by the EC.
Because there is one common, misapprehension. I mean, and it's totally there's no basis to it. Many clubs believe that if you have PDCs, and if you allow them to come and just join the WhatsApp group, they don't have any voting power. They think they have voting power, and that they will completely take over the club. And you have to do what they do. They don't realize that PDCs are just advisors. They will keep quiet till your asked to give you
Yes.
advice, like we do at the district. We all come for the EC meeting, but unless we are asked, we don't give our opinion. So, though many clubs don't have, the clubs that don't have PDCs, they saying, I wish we had PDCs to guide us, just to advise us. There are those clubs who are very fortunate who have PDCs, but they will not put them even, it's just a WhatsApp group. You're not you don't vote or anything. They won't do it. So because they think the PDCs are going to create trouble and the president will have no voice. But that is a total misnomer. It doesn't function that way. All of us, Akka, when you are on it, what are we interested in? Only the welfare of the district. Yes. The president, that's all. But this is a common thing that is prevailing among many presidents. Could I say this in Tamil also? Because in the South, it's very much like that. Not in the big clubs. Nariya clubsல PDCs இருக்காங்க. ஆனா presidents என்ன பயப்படுறாங்க, PDCs போட்டா அவங்க club டேக் ஓவர் பண்ணிட்டு presidents டம்மி ஆக்கிடுவாங்க. அது உண்மையே கிடையாது. PDCs முதல்ல சும்மா ஒரு கமிட்டியில அவங்க அந்த குரூப்ல தான் உட்கார்ந்து இருக்காங்க. நீங்க அட்வைஸ் கேட்டா உங்களுக்கு சொல்லுவாங்க, நீங்க கேட்கட்டா பேசாம இருப்பாங்க. ரொம்ப தப்பா ஏதாவது நீங்க எடுத்தா அது அம்மா இப்படி பண்ணாதீங்க, அப்படி பண்ணக்கூடாது. அதனால உங்களுக்கு அந்த பயம் தேவையே இல்லை. ஐ கேனாட் அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்ட். நிறைய கிளப்ஸ் PDCs இல்லையே எங்க கிளப்ல ஒரு PDC இருந்தா எவ்வளவு நல்லா இருக்கும்னு நினைக்கிறாங்க. பட் தேர் ஆர் அதர் கிளப்ஸ் who feel இல்லையே, அவங்க தேவையில்லை, நம்மளுக்கு எல்லாம் தெரியும், எங்களுக்கே எல்லாம் தெரியும், கடைசியில பண்றதெல்லாம் தப்பு. Against protocol they do it, and so we don't open our mouth, because if we say it, it creates tension. இவங்க என்ன நம்மள எப்பவும் rules பேசுறாங்க. Naturally we will, as advisors on the general group, we say, Amma, don't do this, this is not according to protocol. But this is a common fear, Akka. And also another thing I want you to clarify, when a proposal is put on the EC, the president brings something, they don't know how to present it. You see, now it's all on WhatsApp. The meetings are all on WhatsApp. So the president comes and she says, I have decided on such and such a date to give so much money to this project. All of you attend. No question of whether you approve or you don't approve. And then the president will complain, யாரும் இது என்ன thumbs up கொடுக்க மாட்டேங்கிறாங்க. நீ proposal கொடுத்தாதானே கொடுப்பாங்க. You give it as a stated fact that I have decided. President doesn't decide, it's the EC. She has to put it to the EC. The EC has a discussion and then, okay, fine. Then everybody will put thumbs up. In many clubs that happens. So that is a thing you must tell them, you cannot do that. You propose it. Please give your feedback. Tell us what you want. The EC members have to discuss. Then you pass what it is. These are two common things that happen in many clubs. That's all.
That's what I said, Beena, that everything has to go through the EC. It has to be passed at the EC and passed at the general body.
We keep telling them, but can you tell the presidents how to put the proposal on? How to ask the EC for an opinion. You can't put it on as a stated fact. I have fixed everything, you come. We don't know whether the rest will approve of the project also. So can you just guide them as to how to put it on the EC? So that
they just have to say, Beena, they just have to say that this is a request that we have received. Mostly we do these projects only because other people have requested or we have located a good project.
Yes.
In case we have received a request from a quarter asking for help, that paper or that letter or that request will be placed at the EC.
And there's a healthy discussion, isn't it?
Otherwise, the president, in case she has thought of a project which would be helpful to a certain, a certain area, she would just say that I feel that this is a project which can be done by our club, and this might cost this much. So what do you, what is all your suggestions? How shall we go about it?
That's what.
Shall we use it from the club funds, or shall we mobilize funds among our members, or is it too large enough for, if it's too big, then can we sort of, mobilize these funds from also friends and relatives or known people? All these are suggestions and proposals put at the EC meeting, It can be by the president, it can be by any of the EC members. I mean, not one person confined to sort of present proposals for projects or programs. It can be by any of the EC members. It could even be by the subcommittees regarding their area of projects. Supposing now we have got association goals, we've got district goals. So each club is free to form committees according to their liking for the functioning. So those club committee chairmen might locate some area where we can be of use. So they can also present projects to the EC. So all this has to be passed at the EC. The funds have to be sanctioned. If it has to be again collected and mobilized from the members, that also has to be agreed upon. Only then can anything move forward.
Very good. That's exactly my point. What you said is 100% correct. But many of the clubs don't understand that. Can you just say it in Tamil briefly about how, anybody can, but ask, there has to be a healthy discussion before you pass it. You put forward the proposal.
எந்த ப்ராஜெக்ட் நீங்க சூஸ் பண்ணாலும் ஐதர் பிரசிடென்ட்டே அந்த ப்ராஜெக்ட் சஜஸ்ட் பண்ணலாம், அல்லது எந்த இசி மெம்பரோ எந்த கிளப் மெம்பரோ கூட சஜஸ்ட் பண்ணலாம். ஒரு ஜெனரல் பாடியில எந்த சஜஷனா இருந்தாலும் அதை நம்ம எக்ஸிகியூட்டிவ் கமிட்டி மீட்டிங்ல பிளேஸ் பண்ணி அதனுடைய காஸ்ட் என்ன, இதுல யாரு பெனிஃபிட் பண்ண போறா, இது உண்மையான தேவையா, அத முதல்ல நீங்க பரிசீலிக்கணும். ஏன்னா இந்த வர்ற காலத்துல நிறைய பேரு எனக்கு இந்த பணம் வேணும் அந்த பணம் வேணும்னு கேட்பாங்க. பட் அதுல எதை நம்ம சூஸ் பண்ணலாம், எது வர்தி ப்ராஜெக்ட், நம்ம பணத்தை எதுல செலவு பண்ணலாம், அதையெல்லாமும் நீங்க எக்ஸிகியூட்டிவ் கமிட்டியில நல்லா டீப்பா டிஸ்கஸ் பண்ணிட்டு அதுக்கப்புறம் தான் நம்ம ஜெனரல் ரெகுலர் மெம்பர்ஸ் கிட்ட நம்ம அதை பிளேஸ் பண்ணலாம். அப்போ நம்ம எக்ஸிகியூட்டிவ் கமிட்டியில நம்ம அதை டிஸ்கஸ் பண்ணும்போது அது என்ன ப்ராஜெக்ட், அது யாருக்கு ஹெல்ப் ஆக போகுது, அதுக்கு எவ்வளவு செலவாக போகுது, இந்த பணம் நம்ம ஃபண்ட்ஸ்ல இருந்தே கொடுத்துட முடியுமா, அல்லது நம்ம மெம்பர்ஸ்ல இருந்து கலெக்ட் பண்றதுக்கு தயாரா இருக்கிறோமா, அல்லது நம்ம ஃப்ரெண்ட்ஸ் அண்ட் ரிலேட்டிவ்ஸ் கிட்டையும் சேர்த்து நம்ம அதை கலெக்ட் பண்ணலாமா, இந்த மாதிரி எல்லாம் அது ரொம்ப டீடைல் டிஸ்கஷன் பண்ணி டிசைட் பண்ணி இந்த ப்ராஜெக்ட்டுக்கு we are going ahead ன்னு முதல்ல எக்ஸிகியூட்டிவ் கமிட்டியில டிசைட் பண்ணிட்டு அதுக்கப்புறம் எல்லா மெம்பர்ஸுக்கும் அதை தெரிவிச்சுட்டு அதுக்கப்புறம் நம்ம அந்த ப்ராஜெக்டை பண்ணலாம். ஸோ இதுதான் மெத்தடு. இந்த மெத்தடை ஃபாலோ பண்ணாதான் ஹெல்த்தி. யாரும் இங்க டிக்டேட்டர் கிடையாது. இது ஒரு டெமோக்ராட்டிக் ஆர்கனைசேஷன். சரியா? நம்ம என்ன வழி நம்ம காமிக்கிறோமோ அததான் பின்பற்றுவாங்க நமக்கு பின்னால வர்றவங்க. சோ நம்ம நல்ல வழிய காமிச்சு நல்லபடியா கிளப்பை நடத்திக்கிட்டு போகணும்.
தேங்க்யூ. தேங்க்யூ
மேம். எனக்கு ஒரு டவுட் மேம்.
சொல்லுங்க. யாரு?
ஐ அம் தனலட்சுமி. மேம், இப்ப நம்ம ஒரு ரெசல்யூஷன் ஈஸில கொண்டு வரோம்ல மேம், அதை ஈஸிலையும் பாஸ் பண்ணிட்டு அப்புறம் தான் ஜெனரல் பாடி கொண்டு போகணுமா இல்ல?
ஆமா, ஈஸில முதல்ல அதுக்காக தானே நம்ம ஒரு பெரிய ப்ராஜெக்ட் பண்றோம்னா ஒரு எக்ஸிகியூட்டிவ் கமிட்டி மீட்டிங் நம்ம ஹோல்ட் பண்ணணும்ல. மாசம் கிட்டத்தட்ட எல்லாம் ஹோல்ட் பண்றோம். அப்ப அந்த மீட்டிங்ல பேசி
இல்ல மேம் நம்ம
பாடிக்கு கொண்டு போறோம்.
இல்ல அது பேசணும் மேம். பட் இது மாதிரி நம்ம such a person proposed it, such a person seconded it.
எது அது ப்ரோபோஸ் பண்ணி செகண்ட் பண்ணல.
இல்ல ஈசி மீட்டிங்ல அந்த ரெசல்யூஷன். ஆமா, ஈசி மீட்டிங்லயும் அது மாதிரி ப்ரோபோஸ் செகண்ட் பண்ணணுமான்னு கேக்குறேன்.
சாதாரணமா அப்படி ப்ரோபோஸ் செகண்ட் பண்ற பழக்கம் இல்ல. யுனானிமஸா தான் நம்ம டிசைட் பண்றோம். அந்த ஈசி மீட்டிங்ல ப்ராஜெக்ட்ஸ் பொறுத்து யுனானிமஸா தான் டிஸ்கஸ் பண்ணி டிசைட் பண்றோம்.
அப்ப ஜெனரல் பாடியில தான் நம்ம ப்ரோபோஸ் பண்ணி செகண்ட் பண்ணனும்.
Funds, I think Bimala, would you like to say something on this? They want to know if every project has to be proposed and seconded at the EC and the general body.
I can understand that.
Yeah.
No, the thing is, And it see all depends on the club. See, normally sometimes Parvati, okay. What happens is in the projects is, suppose you have a project, you're supposed to pass it in the EC and then normally passed in the general body also. If you want, see some clubs for every project, anything, especially if it's a major project, it may be something which you want to collect. If it's a large amount of money, then you have to have a proposal second. And it all depends on the club. See, some club where very much cordial about it and they know, okay, this is the right project. But sometimes in certain clubs, Dhanalakshmi, yeah. Sometimes in certain clubs, what happens is it is only a portion. I mean, 40 or 50% is for the project. The other 50% have another thing in mind, or they're not for the project. And those cases, you will have to propose. You'll have to have a proposer and a seconder, which is on the club. See, on a particular project, there may be certain projects you don't want to take up at all. I mean, 50% doesn't want it, or 60%. So if the 60% is agreeing to it, then you pass the project. It depends on that. It's totally on the club, because many club, when it's a very cordial thing, you're only taking up projects which will be, I mean, meant for the community, which will be ideal and which is suited. But only this, take this route. Any project as a, thing, it has to go through the EC. It has to come as a recommendation. It has to be brought forward as a suggestion, then talked about it, passed in the EC. And see, because these problems are arising in in various clubs, that's why now instead of 30%, it's going to 60% in the EC. The next proposal has come up, because sometimes just 3 or 4, sometimes the rest of the EC are not even consulted in, sometimes we're not even called for the meeting. Sometimes they say, we called you, we didn't get you, how come you're not here, these things. That's why now a lot of clubs in the bigger cities feel the 60% voting you need in the EC to pass a resolution or, projects. Okay, is that clear?
Okay. Yeah.
And then
only if it's a major project.
It's major.
Only for major projects,
it all
normally
depends on the individual club, because certain areas, I mean, many clubs, especially I find in the bigger cities, especially, there is always this groupisms within the club. So that's where most of these problems come. That's why many of the new bylaws are coming into existence. That's why we've got so many proposals, because every proposal is based on problems which have come in certain areas. It's not that somebody is just telling you out of the blue. It is because they've been facing problems within certain areas, these proposals come. Okay. So it all depends on how. Sometimes clubs are too big. There are 2 and 3 groups within the club. All those areas is when you'll have.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
First, somebody proposes, somebody seconds. That is how it's. Otherwise, you just do it unanimously. When it's a very healthy, a very cordial club, you don't have to do all that.
So that's why I said the fairness should be there, because somebody proposes, somebody else doesn't want it, and the partiality and prejudices should not be there when it comes to the club activities. So therefore, if from the beginning this unanimous way of functioning is encouraged, I don't think these problems should come up or be bothersome. But I mean, if egos are too big, these problems do come up. So then we have all these rules to regulate the clubs.
Yeah, I think Parvati has some doubt. She has raised her hands. Parvati Vijayakumar.
It disappeared also.
Yeah.
I think she accidentally came online, I think.
One thing I wanted to ask Andy regarding the passing the general body minutes, has it passed and seconded by one of the EC member, or can any of the club members?
No, general body, any member.
Any general body, if you're part of the general body, anybody can.
Anyone. In the EC only, it has to be the what I told you, the 3 categories of, the officers who have formed the EC, like the president, secretary, vice president, and joint secretary, and the ISO and the editor, and the treasurer, and the club, EC members, 6 EC members. So they should pass, propose, and second whatever is placed in the EC. In the general body, anyone can propose a secretary.
Okay. Now, Lakshmi.
Yeah.
Suppose somebody says join with us for some project, major project. They want us to join.
Oh yes,
And then we cannot wait for the committee meeting to be put and then get the decision. Can we just inquire about their opinion over the phone and say yes to those people?
WhatsApp meetings. WhatsApp meetings you can have. You can circulate it in WhatsApp, and you can have your club group also. You can circulate it, and that is how it is done. It has been done for the past,
Yes, we are doing like that only. But for these young new club members, I wanted to tell that you should tell. Okay.
Yes. So in this condition, I mean, and also if there is an emergency, and you think you mean that need is immediate, and you feel that you can be of help, you can have a circular, like a circular notice or something like that, and then take the decision.
Sometimes, there's a fire or something. They immediately, over the phone, they ask us for help, clothes and everything. Then we cannot go and be asking the committee members. Then the president has to decide and do something.
Now, all
overnight programs. And there should be a good understanding in the club.
Yes.
Then nothing will go wrong.
Yes, certainly.
One small doubt. Some decisions or proposals are passed in the EC meeting, executive committee, by the executive committee, but it's not approved by the general body meeting. Means
if it's a major, I mean that's why we have an EC and then move on to the general body. When you place it in the general body, if the members are not willing to support it, then I think you just have to let it go.
Thank you.
Normally, it doesn't come like that. Normally, everybody.
Normally,
it's a
it's
good project.
always
Nobody
unanimous. We've never faced all these small problems at all in all the 46 years. So that is why I say that harmony, understanding, coordination, those are the watchwords of not only our sort of organization, any association of people together. Harmony, coordination, and understanding, and you have the focus on the goals. Why you are together? Why have you come together? Not to have differences of opinion, but to have unanimity and serve the society.
Yes.
Not only in clubs, even at home, you will have to.
Yes.
To have a smooth running.
So anyone else to clear any doubts?
No.
Thank you, Lakshmi Andy, for that wonderful session. Now we'll move on to to our district CCC for the session on our club CCC.
District Chairman Anna, incoming Chairman Cinda, Convener Vimla ma'am, co-conveners Lakshmi ma'am, Beena, past District Chairman, Club BC, and my dear Club Constitution Chairman. Very good evening to all of you. Hope you are all well. Everybody online, everybody is well, I hope. In health and well-being. Wishing all of us all the very best in this pandemic situation. Let us start. Actually, there's no need of a PPT for this presentation, nothing much to say. But since we are having 10 new club constitution chairmen, I thought of preparing a very short PPT, and I have got a technical expert, my friend Anita Nadarajan. Ani, you are there, no? Annie? She's not there.
Yeah, I'm here. I'll be sharing it. Shall I start?
Don't give me heart attack, okay? Yeah. Shall we start straight to the presentation?
Yes.
Then I'll explain, okay? Slide by slide. Okay, Annie, please help me.
Just wait. Is it there? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes. This is the first slide. A club constitution committee chairman. So Beena was asking me, C. Only 3 C's are there for the club. Club constitution committee chairman. Okay. When it comes to the district or the association, the credential, that word also is coming in, constitution and credential committee chairman. For the club, only constitution committee chairman. A club constitution committee chairman should be a senior member having very good knowledge of the working of Innovate. Always we say it is better to appoint a PDC or a very senior past president for this job, because they know the rules and regulations of Innovate better than the new members. But now we have got 10 new CCCs in our midst. What they should do? They can consult their mother club, or they can ask their zonal advisors for whatever doubts occur for them. But more than that, you should read this bylaws book. You should buy one for yourself. Last meeting, for the last orientation also, I said the same thing. I am not sure how many of the club CCCs are having a personal copy. I really doubt. But again, I'm saying you don't depend on the club's copy. Club's copy is needed by the president and the secretary. They also need to understand things. You buy one association bylaws book, the green book, for yourself. You can contact Annie. She is a district treasurer. You can contact her. She will help you. And another thing you have to buy is a constitution bylaws book. It is a light blue, the small book. That also is essential. These two books, constitution bylaws books and this association bylaws, this blue book and the green book, all the club CCCs should possess. Not only that you should possess, you should read and understand. Anything can be understood by reading if you take pains. Please read through, understand. Then even after reading, if you have got any doubt, you can ask anybody, any of the PDCs, your zonal advisor, your mother club, or you can call me, or anybody, no problem. But you should take the pains to understand what is Innovate. That is very, very important. The second one, the club constitution committee chairman should not be a member of the district executive committee. This came, I think, towards the middle of last year, towards the middle of this year, by August, September, the circular was given that the club CCCs should not be a member of the district executive committee. But we are having 3-4 club CCCs who are the district executive committee members, but we didn't disturb that time. So this time, much early, I have put in the group that district EC members should not take up, or rather cannot take up, the post of club CCCs. Next one. The club constitution committee chairman should not take up executive posts in the club. Executive post means you should not be the president, secretary, you should not be treasurer, ISO, or the editor. You can be the CGR, you can be the project coordinator. Such posts given by the district chairman, there's no problem for you to take. Another thing about this printing, last year also there was such a lot of confusion about printing the name. If you want to print the name, no problem. If your CCC is in your executive committee, even otherwise their name will come in the letterhead. You will be printing now all the executive committee members' name will be, the EC members' name will be there, not that committee members, not the executive committee, EC members. The EC members' name will be there. You will be having 15 members in the committee. All the names will be there. So naturally your name will come. If you are not a part of the committee, even then if you want to print, if your club wants to print, there's no problem. But it is not mandatory. It's not mandatory that your name has to be printed, and it is not mandatory that you be a part of the club committee too. Next one. The club constitution committee chairman should have a good knowledge of English language to understand our bylaws better and should be able to impart innovative information either in English or in the local language. You will be able to read and understand the bylaws book. Again, I'm saying the green book and the small blue book. All of you should buy, read and understand. I think we will have some quiz or something, Cinda, on this.
Yeah.
How far they have proceeded learning, okay?
Yeah.
So you should have a good knowledge of English to understand, but when you impart the knowledge to your club members, you can say in Tamil or in Malayalam, whatever is convenient to you. There's no problem in that. Now, the club constitution committee chairman should consist of chairman and other 3 members. You should take 3 more members and make a small committee. The advantage is that when you impart the information, if you are not able to do, you can take the help of the other members also, no problem. That 4 members together, you can help the club to know inner wheel better, to understand inner wheel better. The club constitution committee chairman, they should be elected for a year actually, but they can continue up to a maximum of 3 years. I think most of us are in that 3rd year now. That is why in the beginning I said everybody all are very, very well seasoned CCCs, except the new club CCCs. A club constitution committee chairman should provide inner wheel information for 3 to 5 minutes. Please note, don't exceed your time limit, my dear friends. Many clubs were complaining this year and last year also. CCCs are taking 10 minutes. We don't have time for anything. Don't do that. You take maximum of 5 minutes to impart inner wheel information in your general body meetings. You can impart information. You can ask your committee members. I told you, you can form a small committee. The committee members also can help you to impart inner wheel information to the club members. Next is a club constitution committee chairman should organize quiz competition at least twice a year. Last year, we didn't do much because of this pandemic and this virtual meetings. This year, we should find a solution to this. We should have some quiz programs, surely, even though in virtual meetings. The club CCC can have, and we from the district also, Cinda, with the help of Cinda, we can also have a quiz program among the club members. We will take 10 clubs at random and have a quiz program among those members. Like that, I'll plan with sitting with Cinda.
Yeah, we'll surely do one towards.
Yeah. We have to do that. Otherwise, that will be an impetus for them also to learn and to understand. Because Lakshmi's period, that was, I think, the first time when I was the CCCs. That time in Ramnad, we had a quiz. Along with the district conference, everybody fared really well. Exceeded my expectations actually. It was such a good performance by the club CCCs. So we have to know, and we have to understand how far they are able to understand inner wheel, know inner wheel, and impart the knowledge. Next is, you should have a small column in your club bulletins. Last year, I think only 3 or 4 clubs, CCCs, have given the information in the club bulletins. All other bulletins which I have received, the e-bulletins, I just checked. There was no column by the club CCCs. So what you should do, you should have a small column given by the club CCCs. Club correspondent should take care of that. Presidents also help, please suggest that a small column be given to the club CCCs for the inner wheel information to be given. Now I'll go to these two. Yeah, two of the important proposals which are carried at the virtual International Inner Wheel Convention, because both of them are pertaining to the clubs. That's why I'm saying. One is about the category of membership. So in active membership, we had members related to Rotary, related to Inner Wheel, and members who are invited to join. Now, those categorization has been removed in the International Convention. There was a proposal, and when for a member to join Inner Wheel, she should have completed 18 years of age, and majority of the club members should agree that she will be a good member for the club. So anybody can, so anybody that no categorization related to Rotary, related to Inner Wheel, nothing is there. Anyone, a woman who has completed 18 years can join Inner Wheel, provided the majority of the club members agree for her joining in the club. That is a major decision, and we are throwing open, actually we are throwing open the membership actually. When we are throwing open the membership, we should be very, very careful about the quality of the members we take. Actually, it is a challenging job now. At this time, all the meetings are virtual. We are not meeting them. But even then, the association goals always says expansion. So we have to take members. So when you take the members who are known to your own members very well, and you know very well that they will be an asset to your club, not only position wise, not only that they are very accomplished, but they have a social bent of mind, and they will fit nicely into a group of ladies, group of women, that they should come and gel with the other members, which is very important. If you take a wrong member, one member is enough to spoil the harmony, entire harmony of the club. So be very careful when you take the new members, because we are throwing open the membership of Inner Wheel to ladies about the age of 18. The second one is about the honored active membership. We all know that honored active membership, we used to pay the dues of that member for 1 year from the club. So at the convention, there was a proposal that the title of honored active membership should not come from with a financial obligation for the club. So that has been removed. Now, even if you give the title of honored active membership to a senior member, it doesn't come with a financial obligation for the club, even for 1 year. They have to pay their dues. They are as good as all active members, but we are giving them a recognition because they are in the club for a long time. They are doing good service to the club. Now about the triennial conference is coming up in 2022. The proposal, I don't know how many presidents have received the proposal booklet by post. We have sent all the presidents by email. Anybody has gone through that? And we have asked for amendments, if any, but we have not received any amendments from any clubs, and even district EC, we are not giving any amendments. But it is a matter of pride that two of the proposals we have sent for the triennial got featured in the proposal booklet. Proposal number 28 and 38. So please take the, I don't know, the CCCs won't be getting, only the presidents will be getting the hard copy. But when we form a WhatsApp group this time, I will be posting the booklet, the proposal booklet in our group. You all should go through the proposals. There are some proposals to amend the club rules also. You should understand, because that is what I'm saying. Nobody can instill and nobody can force you. You just should come from your mind. You should have the urge to learn, to understand in a way. Then only these things will be possible. Now that the table, Annie, can you just put the table for them to, the last one, the table? Yeah. Previous one. Yeah. These are the topics to be covered. The topics to be covered is from this green book, Association Bylaw book. First meeting, you should cover general information, history, formation day of, that is Innerville Day, Innerville statistics of clubs and members and countries. Second meeting, basic rules, objects, naming of club. Third meeting, membership up to termination. The membership, when you say about membership, you say the new rules, okay? About the honored active members, about the category of members, you should mention. Number 4, international governing body, in short, editor, bar, media manager. Fifth meeting about the IAW conventions. Next slide, Annie. Next, the sixth meeting, national governing body, Association of Innerville Clubs in India, Association EC and AC, CCC chairman, national editor. Now, seventh meeting, association conference, it is triennial conference, general motion point, voting delegates to the association conference. Eighth meeting, district committee, qualifications meetings, constitution committee chairman. Ninth meeting, club rules, and 10 meeting and the quorum. All these titles should be covered by the club CCCs in 10 meetings. But definitely you should not take more than 5 minutes to prepare a gist of it that everybody will understand and impart the knowledge. This year actually, though it is a pandemic year and we don't know we will be able to meet physically, definitely we will have quiz programs virtually, and we will see how far these CCCs have known and understood and how far they're able to. Can you mute somebody? Who is that? Yeah, I mute. So that we will do. Anyway, I'm wishing all the club constitution committee chairmen all the very best for an excellent year. And I'm wishing all the presidents, secretaries, all the club BCs also all the very best. Thank you, Cinda, for this opportunity. Thank you, Annie, for being my technical expert. Thank you, friends. Thank you for your patient listening. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Shailaja.
Thank you, Shailaji. That was a wonderful session, very lively and very informative at the same time. And I'm sure, like, since this year we have so many new club CCCs, they might have really benefited from this session. And many of them might have a few doubts.
Yeah. If you have, come on.
You can ask your questions. There is a suggestion by somebody that's from Ruba Shiva of Trivandrum. Maybe the CCC can give information by WhatsApp and keep a question answer session.
That is Rupa, alias Vani. Actually, it's a good suggestion, but the thing is that very few members go through WhatsApp regularly. After 2 days, they will delete the whole messages. Oh, so many messages, 70 messages, 80 messages, they will delete all. That's the problem when you go this quiz competition by WhatsApp. Very few members will be able to participate in that.
You can just star the important messages and delete the rest. So whatever important message is given will be in a WhatsApp.
Let us see, we will be able to instill in that in our technical sessions coming forth from 30th. How to do that?
No, normally some messages which we want to read again, I normally have a star, the star thing you can put on that message.
Yeah.
So then that is sort of, that will not be deleted when you delete the rest.
Yeah, very true. But if they go through only, ma'am, they will be able to know. That's the problem. If somebody is busy with something, 2 days, they may not be able to look at the WhatsApp. Next day, they will be seeing it. Because for me also, That in a way, all India group and all 152 messages. Who is going to read all that? We will put delete all.
Yes, true, very true.
Yeah, that is the problem. So maybe you can, otherwise you have to tell the members, this day we are going to put a quiz through WhatsApp. Please, everybody, please be vigilant and see. Like that, you can tell your members, and you can, if you practically, if you can do it, it's well and good.
No, 1 second. What I meant actually, Chalja, was that you had given these topics to be covered in 10 meetings.
Yes.
So what I meant was give the information in the WhatsApp and keep the discussion in the meeting. So you can reduce the time you are keeping.
You can try. I don't know how much it will be effective, but you can try. There is nothing wrong in trying. You can try that, but I don't know how much effective it will be. Who all will be reading their understanding? But that is what I said. Nobody can force anybody to learn anything. It has to come within, from yourself. You should have, yes, I should understand what inner will is. I should read this book. I should read the Constitution book. And all the CCCs, please do have a personal copy. Don't take from the clubs. Club presidents need it.
These are the 2 books.
Yeah, Cinda is showing the blue book. Blue book, actually, I have downloaded from the website. But don't download. This is the best. Buy the book. The recent edition is coming by July, I think. No, Annie? By July it is coming, the latest edition?
Yes.
Yeah. Buy that and keep.
Can I add a few things? Is that, see, sure. The green book is not only the bylaws, it's also the constitution, okay? The first 28 pages basically has all the constitution in it. So it's, and this is only called the constitution and handbook, okay? It doesn't have, it's, you don't call it the bylaws. This green book has the first 28 pages is the constitution, which is the international constitution. Basically, if you read that, covers everything. And one more thing I wanted to tell you is that, see, while you're talking about bylaws and things like that, see, the bylaws, I mean, you have anyone who has like an association, or you can have your own bylaws. That is like own bylaws means which falls in line with the international constitution, because every time, like when we have a triennial, we have, you know, you have all these proposals. Even if we want to pass it, International Innovil has to approve it. After we pass it, sometimes some proposals are not accepted by International Innovil, and then they say this does not fall in line with the constitution. So basically, if you look at this, when you look at it's written here, constitution, so first is constitution. The first 28 pages is constitution. So that really covers most of the constitution. And then you go to the association bylaws and the district committee and the club rules. And see now, if you have, one more thing just for your information is that how you form districts. Like so if you have 4 clubs, you can form a district. And if you have 2 districts, you can have your own bylaws, meaning like you have a what is called you can have a national governing body, okay, which has a governing body. And then all this can, otherwise you have another thing called membership at large, where you are only having this blue book and you follow what is written in this blue book. This is for your information, basically. And also, this is only not the constitution. This is one portion which is called the handbook, which will come at the end of it. You always have all the you know, like what are the national, international social project, all that for the year, previous years will all be there because we have it for 3 years. And after 3 years, you form this. Because the new constitution comes, this will change. So this is also always there at the last page, which is just general information about when was the first convention, second convention, all that, which is interesting. So it's nice. If you don't have this also, the basic constitution which you have to learn is in this book, which is called the constitution, which is bylaws and district committee rules. So top is constitution. So at least look at that. So as Shailja said, you can learn. And I would like to go against one thing you said is like constitution. I think you should never have more than 2 minutes 5 minutes is also too long, because I remember I sat through one thing, because people have, it's like you just give it in bullet forms, or this is what, and ask them questions, finish it off. Because, a lot of members, we are not interested in anything, we just want to be a member of this club. So something which they can, this thing that I feel the shortest, that, and then try to go back to that thing in the next time also. Next time, let it be a question and answer session, that they remember that, which was a thing. Because I find when they're not interested in posts, they're not interested in the constitution. So it would be nice. I mean, those who are interested, people who want to go and come into the thing and the club, please have 5 minutes or more. 5 minutes maximum. So do that. But this is just, I just added on to what Shaili just said, So.
Thank you. Yeah, Andrews has some doubt. Andrews, you can ask.
Good evening, friends. Actually, I don't have a doubt. What we do is we have a news WhatsApp group other than the ordinary group. So we share only the club news in that. In that, we actually send a few message about Inner Wheel, that we have to inform the members. I just give before the general body meeting, before a week, I just give few news about the Inner Wheel in that group. So I'll just inform them during general body meeting. I'll be asking questions from that. We'll be having quiz in that. So the members are interested and they just join. So many members come for that, because actually we send some small gifts, everything. So they join. Actually, the meeting will be really very active. So you can follow that, I hope so.
Yeah, that's a nice idea.
Nice suggestion.
Thank you.
Does anybody have any doubts? I just wanted one clarification. Shailaja, you said that in the convention, that thing about anybody above 18 years. So even so far, they said you could be Rotary based, you could be Inner Wheel based, but you can also be by invitation. So isn't it the same thing? We're not, anybody above 18 years,
that is
then all the forms itself, they ask you, whether you have a Rotary connection, whether
now
you
it's
have an
not
Inner Wheel
there.
connection. Now the forms will be changed, is it?
Yeah, it will be changed.
Okay, so what will be there? Just the names, that's all.
Yeah, that's all.
Okay, because so far we've been focusing on Rotarians and people because we feel they have a better base.
Yeah, Vimla ma'am can throw some light on there also about the quality of members, how to take care of that.
Yeah, this is going to the problem is, like India, we have no problem, and I'm sure our members is going to be very diluted with this opening up, like Rotary also, what has happened. Because what happened is anywhere abroad, like especially in the European countries, because which controlled Inner Wheel and which had large membership. Now a lot of people, they're not getting married. And then, like earlier itself, when I remember one I think in the Berlin Convention when I went, they said, how can the partners of a Rotarian? Now, big fight was that the Rotarian had a wife and a partner. So then the wife didn't want the partner to be a member of the same club. So
big complication.
So, but this is how the system is, that people are not getting married; they're just living with somebody. So this is why and that was passed because whole of Europe thought you have to, because most people are not, it's just a contract marriage, not even a marriage, it's a contract living arrangement. So that is why a lot of things have changed, because as I told you, one person has a wife and he has a wife and a partner. And so two. So there are two people who want to become members of Inner Wheel from the same household. And then then they don't want to, then this club where the wife is, she says, no, I don't want her to be in my club, right? Which is obviously natural. So these are the things which opened it. But unfortunately for us, we in India, we still believe in the marriage system. We still have a lot of Rotarians. But when it changes in all over the world, we are just falling in line with it.
That's all.
But we'll have to individually, let me tell you, you will have to be very careful in taking your membership. You have to decide, because you have to pass it in a general body. If you if somebody is going to now every association president, please increase your membership by so much.
Yes.
But don't, I personally feel if you want to have a very healthy club, be very careful about how you increase your membership.
I completely agree with ma'am here.
No, because
quality is more important.
Much
Definitely.
more, and you'll enjoy in a wheel, you know, like, and after a point, if you make it like an ocean of members, if you have 100 members and all that, how do you even keep in touch with people? How do you know what the quality is? So I feel individually you should, this is what I tell everywhere, wherever anybody tells me, whether it's outside a district also, when I talk to them, I tell them, please be careful, because you know, this is, unless you want to get one certificate for the time being and be happy about it, that you're the one who had 10 members increased. But to me, it will affect, it'll be like you know, it'll spoil the whole health, the good functioning of the club. So it all depends individually. It's open, but be very, very careful how you take your membership, because you know, like that one person can spoil the whole club. So be very careful. That's what I feel. This is not part of the law, but Beena, I feel the membership form, we have 3 categories, A, B, and C, no?
Yeah. A is related to Rotary, B is to Inner Wheel, C is by invitation. That is the form we've been filling all this time.
No, they want it recorded as, they just for record, they want it as a Rotary family or Inner Wheel family, and the third will be invitation. It's not like you can't, when I'm going, somebody is coming for a walk and coming to an Inner Wheel club, I like to join, you can't do that. So it is still by invitation. So it's the same thing, same format. They might change it this way or that way, because when every time a new person, but because they'd like to know how many people are coming from the Rotary family into Inner Wheel, and they want to know how many people are coming from the Inner Wheel connected families, like your daughter who's about 18 years and things. So that's why they just want to keep a record of that.
Oh, it's only for a record.
It's the same.
So the same form may continue.
Same form. It is that same. Every Inner Wheel club has to take membership by invitation. The same thing. There's no difference in the form at all, because you have your 3 categories already earmarked.
Yeah, they're there.
So that's the same.
But our main hunting ground is the Rotary ads, isn't it?
They like to, they wanted record of still how much, because suddenly when Rotary accepted women, like there was a whole lot of saying, oh, now, you know, we won't get any, but we've grown. And then Rotary, of course, you found even Rotary had to have this big thing of saying increase membership, increase. So when they don't have enough people, they all make their wives the Rotarians. So you'll find in many Rotary club, why they make the wives is because they have to increase by 15 members. Then all the wives have become Rotarians. This is a sort of a game.
Even in our membership, we have a lot of Rotarians.
Yeah,
they are Rotarians
yes.
also.
So many are there.
Some are very active, of course, but I'm saying
they're all active.
I'm a Rotarian just for putting RTN over there, and that's it.
So it doesn't matter. We still hunt among the Rotary family and the family for members, plus others.
Each club has a particular quality, a particular method of functioning, a particular standard they keep up. If you want to function the same way, be very careful about how you take your membership.
So the next time when we talk about membership, I'm asking because you don't have to say that you are, you know, there are 3 categories. You can be a Rotarian or related to Inner Wheel. There are 37 things in which you can be. Or you just talk about...
And your name has to be approved by the club. If there are so many... if the name has to be approved club, if people are objecting, you can't take the person.
You can't take. Majority of the members should agree.
You have to approve.
That's all.
Okay. So that will be clearly put down in the constitution. I mean, when the new
When
the book comes,
latest edition,
when
it
the
will be
book
there.
comes, we'll know. When the book is printed and published, we'll know exactly
how
it is coming.
No major thing. It's only about the e-voting. Few things only. That's not no major this thing.
Yeah.
Frankly, I think this widening it's not good for our country.
Most of the thing, even Rotary and all, why they increasing? Because here form Rotary clubs you can form in every village. There's not a problem in forming. In India, people have the time. There, they don't have the time and they can't get.
That's right.
Anyway, we pay the same amount of international dues. So they're getting plenty of dues going abroad. That is why, because look at Inner Wheel, we've got so much of membership, whereas Great Britain, which had the largest Inner Wheel membership, is going down. Most of the clubs are not more than 50 members. And Inner Wheel, Except for Australia, I think we've got some new generation clubs. England doesn't have that many. Most people at the earliest they join Innoville is when they are 55 and normally only 60. That's the time when they've sort of retired and they join Innoville. You don't have new generation clubs in Europe. Some new generations clubs are coming. Sweden is quite big. Sweden and Norway is quite big, but Australia is doing rather well with new generation clubs. But rest of it, we're not doing well. And because
in their currency, it's quite low. £3.5 per year is nothing for them, no?
Yeah,
£3.5.
it's nothing.
And 1.75.
But
Here, I learned that this morning. I'm trying to show off my knowledge. I learned about that. I always knew it in rupees, but not in pounds. I learned it this morning. So I had to air it to you all. Yeah. And actually, it's very low, isn't it, Vimla?
Very low. But when you look at them, especially Rotary, all the same amount they're paying. It's a large amount. How much we're sending from India?
Yeah, Rotary is. Innoville is very less.
Every town, the smallest town will have 10 Rotary clubs. Minimum, I'm saying, you know, and so they are getting the dues, they are happy, increase, they keep saying. And then every district
quality is going down now, Rotary also. Quality is really going down of the members.
Yes, yes.
We have 13.
Yes.
I mean, it's not nice to say, but definitely the quality is diluted in Rotary, you know.
Yeah, very much. Yeah,
very much.
Very, very much.
In Kanyakumari district, more than 30 clubs.
That's
what.
Anywhere, any village, you just go knock, they'll say, okay, fine, that's it. So, and they are just thinking single factor in international and all these organizations is that they want the dues. That's about it. They're not thinking of anything else. Of course, along with that, they say, you know, we'll have to spread this and that and, you know, awareness. All these are secondary.
Also collection for the Rotary Foundation.
Yeah, that also is there.
Hunt.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's a hunt.
And does it mean that more clubs, whether smaller, you know, the usual small ones that keep mushrooming with every governor's thing, is it for the more clubs, the more votes when governors can
that also
is there.
Yeah. So anyway, that's good.
Along with Rotary, will also get diluted.
I think this. No,
Maitri is trying to say something.
Along with Rotary, I think LRL will also get diluted, I said.
Yeah,
that
is
depends
not
on
yet
the members we take.
Let's hope it won't.
The quality of the members is very, very important.
Yeah.
Club CCs or any other officers present here, would you like to clear anything regarding this session or any of the sessions? You can ask doubts.
Yeah. To clear any doubt or any suggestions also?
Lalita is asking something. She can unmute and ask.
Lalita, please unmute yourself.
Lalita has been asking something.
Yeah. Good evening. The thing is, there had been a talk about clubs for young girls in the age group 12 to 17, I suppose. I don't know whether I understood it properly or not. Is there any such club in India?
No.
No. You should be, I think 18 years. For Innoville, you should be above 18 years.
Maybe like raw tract.
Must be.
Yeah. No suggestion, no talk on that at all. There's nothing.
Veena Vyas had initially mooted that idea, but then it never came to anything. Because you can't do anything 12 to 17 in schools. You have not possible at all. So it was just dropped, I suppose. I remember she talked about once long ago. Why don't you know? We can't. It's not possible.
In the last session, that 18th convention, in her PPT, it was there, like the younger girls, for young girls.
Yeah. She had a lot of, she's one person who really wants to increase the membership to the largest.
She had a vision to start clubs in colleges. I think so.
But during the Melbourne convention, there was a proposal, no particular last.
No,
the proposal was lost.
The pandemic came and all schools got closed. So that was the end of it.
I think she wanted even in schools and all that. Kashtam Young, she was telling.
Yes.
But like our interact clubs.
Yeah.
So after listening to this discussion about changing the year, just above 18, anyone can become a member of Inner Wheel, because we have our own apprehensions about how it will be when we have to be very careful and all that. So I was just wondering how it would be if we start taking in 12 to 17 group as well. They may be a good workforce for us, but I don't know how far it will be.
Yeah.
I think for the moment, the young gen is, let's start with the young gen, the 18 to, and then
18
maybe
18 to
sometime in
35.
future, if it works out, I think 12 to 17 are a little immature and they're so pressurized by their studies. How much they will be able to contribute to a junior inner wheel is little doubtful. I mean, I think like that. You know how they're pressurized at 10th and 12th, 24 hours they're studying for children.
True.
No, Veena, just like how we have our girl guides and clubs and all that, we could have such young girls in schools. But then that we should start with the, right from the, like, we should get a proper rules and regulations if we can start something like that.
Yeah.
But it'd be nice if we catch them young at that age.
Yeah.
The thing is, 18 to 30 group or one for young.
Yeah, that is for club members.
Yeah. So that they have
That's
a, see, like housewives' timing is like evening during the week. You find weekends most inconvenient because the family is at home. Whereas for these people, they, most places where they keep these new generation clubs is always during the week or during a lunch meet, like Rotary has abroad, lunch meet, or it's only on the weekend. That's the only time, because they're either working or studying or whatever. So it is kept. So why they've categorized this is basically they find their own time. So suppose it's with us, again, we can't, most of us prefer not to have something on the weekend, because especially, families at home, family obligation. So weekdays is much more easier on housewives who meet, or a little later in the evening is fine. So this is why this, division of new generation, of course, and the thinking is different. Because suppose, however perfect your mother-in-law, daughter-in-law, the daughter-in-law being separate is, much better than the whole. But all organizations, in fact, everywhere they're saying youth. YWCAs want at least I think 25% of the board to be youth below 30. And here we cannot even get one person. International president is below 30, and they only want, everywhere they want only youth. And India, we can't get youth. So that's a concept of different countries is.
I think Girl Guides and the Red Cross, like they have a Red Cross in my son's school, and every Saturday they have something, and Girl Guides too. It's all very good. Depends on how the school views it and includes it in its curriculum,
Yeah.
If not, many schools are just not interested. It's only studies, nothing else. So Girl Guides we do have. But another inner wheel, I don't know. I don't know.
No, even the interact itself doesn't function so very well.
Interact, yeah.
I don't
But
think.
Rotaract clubs are not very good.
It's all gone now.
All gone.
They don't have, earlier I remember they were quite
They were very active.
Yeah, Rotaract is a very, very well organized, such a big help. So many of them have become governors now, all those Rotaract. But now that's all gone now.
Now youngsters are too busy.
Don't have the time.
They don't have the time for all these things.
And Rotaract, don't the parent club, they pay the fees, Like when we were asking for Inner Wheel in a college, they said, will you pay the fees all three? I mean, continuously. We said, no. Maybe first year somebody would sponsor. What happens in the second year or the third year? And then the fresh batch that comes in, that's not possible. They couldn't even pay that, that 500 dues or whatever.
For the Rotaract one-time payment, $50. But the sponsor club will pay.
Sponsor club, yeah.
And now I
So they are
feel in a way we should start thinking a bit more forward, broaden our views now. See, now we are coming independent of Rotary. We don't have Rotary to fall upon like before. It was different. And Rotary joined us with any venture they had. They were very happy, happy to have us. But now it's not the case. So then now we have to become strong. We have to form foundations right from the international level itself. We should broaden. Otherwise, many of us might be going into Rotary. See, there's a big, vast difference now. Innoville has got limited scope. Rotary has much more, and many people are going into Rotary. So we should put a stop to it. We should become very strong. Broaden our activities.
Everybody thought Innoville membership. Now we're getting about 45,000 members is a very good thing for Innoville at the moment. Membership is really going up, especially in the north.
In India.
Yes, it's going up, and there's so many clubs. Bombay and
and they're doing extremely well also.
Very, very big.
Yeah.
And Bangalore also has got lots of clubs. They've got at least about 30 clubs. I mean, more than that, they've got in the city itself. I'm talking about. And
Chennai has many clubs.
Like I think we're doing about 25 crores or something per year, which is good.
Chennai has also got many clubs.
Yeah, Chennai has also got
so
clubs.
many.
Delhi, Bangalore,
Bombay, Delhi, all the big cities have really gone up.
And Delhi,
And they're doing mega projects.
75 clubs, I think so.
Delhi.
Delhi.
Bombay also, I think.
Bombay also same.
Yeah.
So many clubs.
Chennai, they have only 55 clubs.
Chennai.
Shall we? I mean, what?
Yeah.
Yeah. We've been busy discussing, so everyone from the UC.
Yes.
So let's move on to the feedback session. If you are all ready with all your doubts, clear with all your doubts, we'll move on to the feedback session. Let me invite Dr. Sandhya from Trivandrum to give a feedback about what she felt about today's session. Yeah, please unmute yourself, Sandhya.
Hi, good evening, everyone. I was watching both the sessions for the EC members as well as CCC. I'm going to the third year this year. So the points shared by Shailaja ma'am was most of them were repeating, and the EC members session was really impressive, and I could get so many points which I didn't know. I would like to mention. I was thinking whether I should say this or we have our bylaws, our rules and regulations, everything in our books, but certain clubs are facing problems inside the club, not the club issues, but then the general issues. So right now CCC has a since there is a CCC post, members ask us how to handle that situation. So since we don't have any we in a club, we all will be especially the new generation, we are all in similar age and we are not that experienced with so many problems or outside the club topic. So I always found difficulty in leading my members how to tackle it, or even if we try doing it in the regular way, I face lot of limitations in taking it up. So I ask zonal advisors advise everything, but then still there are certain things I always feel that we should have what I should say, ഒരു disciplinary team, or I'm completely talking about the unwarranted issues. Good things can be managed very well, but then പ്രോബ്ലംസ് വരുമ്പോഴാണ് വി ആർ ഫേസിങ് എങ്ങനെ ഹാൻഡിൽ ചെയ്യണം എന്നുള്ളതൊക്കെ ഉള്ളൊരു അപ്പം ഒരു ഡിസിപ്ലിനറി ആക്ഷൻ പോലെയോ അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ലൈക്ക് വി സെഡ് നൗ വി ആർ ഓപ്പൺ ടു taking members above 18 years. There should not be the rotary or inner wheel strings is not necessary. So angane varumbam, what are the criterias? Like quality is a main thing. Ellarum edukkunnathu is very very even I feel that's not at all good. So അങ്ങനെ ഒരു ന്യൂ മെമ്പറിനെ എടുക്കുമ്പോൾ വാട്ട് ആർ ദ ക്രൈറ്റീരിയാസ് വി ഷുഡ് ഇൻ ജനറൽ വി ഷുഡ് ഫോളോ? അതിനും എന്തെങ്കിലും ഒരു ആൻസേഴ്സ് ഉണ്ടെങ്കിൽ ഇറ്റ് വിൽ ബി ഈസി ഫോർ ഓൾ ഓഫ് us, because the members which we get the request will be our own friends. For us they are all good people, but then അപ്പം അങ്ങനെ കുറച്ച് പോയിന്റ്സ് ഇങ്ങനത്തെ കുറച്ച് അഡ്വൈസസ് അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഒരു what to say points, if you seniors can make it and distribute it across the clubs, that will be easy, and I always wanted to say. But then my zonal advisors are helping us. That's all. The today's session was very useful, and especially for the incoming CCCs, it would have been a very wonderful session. That's all. I'm so thankful to Lakshmi ma'am and Shailaja ma'am for giving us such a wonderful presentation about these topics. Thank you.
Thank you, Sandhya. So one of our conveners, would you like to?
Vimla ma'am can talk about that. She's from Blossom. Vimla ma'am, she's from Trivandrum Blossom.
Oh, okay.
You can talk on that.
Well, this is what we talk about, quality members, and that you take the right people. Even sometimes, see, somebody may be related to you and you know them well, but please don't see some. And one thing we always keep saying, take a biodata of the person, and also some where they belong to earlier. See, some people may be actually, like, in fact, I did say that much in one of the sessions, maybe brilliant in their work or very good, but to get along with people, they can't. Okay, that is where the problem comes. I mean, I've had experiences where just people that initially will say, oh my God, what qualifications will be so perfect for, we can do this with that person. And then there is the two categories, one which is so brilliant, which does not get along, and some people may not be think, but it's only like, my way, or like they'll think, okay, I have to do it my way. And if you don't fall in line with what I say, either you want to get rid of those members, or you badmouth those members behind the back. And I know a particular person who would say all sorts of things. I mean, not straight away. They'll tell, they would ring up one person and say, because you're my good friend, I would like to tell you that this person is not so nice. Please keep away from that person. And then followed by one very religious note about it. But only about two. See, initially people think, oh my God, maybe she's like that. And it's normally told to new people. Old people will know the others. So these are very dangerous areas. It's more very cancerous, I would say, that it grows on to other people. The only thing you can do, and then one thing, if you're standing by your constitution and if you're very honest about yourself, sometimes you have to stand. See, our problem, I think, especially I would say among Malayalam, we all want to have a good friend. We don't want to face reality. We say, no, it's okay like that. Or when you say, one person says, no, you are wrong, this is wrong, nobody supports you. They'll go home and ring up and say, what you said was exactly what I had in my mind. This is where, no, everybody, then why didn't she tell you at the meeting? So be very careful when you take membership, even if it's your friend. Sometimes it may be your cousin, but sometimes there are people who cannot get along with people, So this is a very dangerous area, which this is the only way you can do it. Either then at least you should have a few people, like suppose you say, I'm going to bring this up in the committee. Tell a few others, do you think I'm right and will you support me? See, if you're alone, you're sort of, you're put aside. But before, when you know that problem is coming up, you'd speak to about 3 or 4 people. I'm going to bring it up in the committee. Will you support me there in front of everybody? If people like this can easily be put down or brought to task if you say it in front. There's no use going home and making this phone call. No use your friends supporting you from home. If this is the only way, if you say that this is a problem, I'm going to say it, will you all support me? Then that's the only way you can sort it. Because today we are talking about empowerment of women, and let's also, while we empower ourselves, help us to remember that we should know the way to Maithili, mute is okay. Then that is one thing. When you're empowering, to stand for truth. Learn to say some truth at some time and ask others. Sometimes maybe what you're saying is wrong. Am I saying the right thing or not? Will you support me if you think this is the right thing? And that it empowers you, empowers the club. Because one side we say empowerment of women, empowerment, but we all hide behind somebody, behind a door or a curtain. You don't want to face it because you want everybody to say you're a nice person. And they will all support you. Go home and say, no, actually, I wanted you were very good. You said it, but they will not lift up your finger in front of other people. This is also a learning experience. When if you have a problem like that, I don't know which blossom. Yeah, if you have a problem, you must be able to get at least 3 or 4 people to support you and say this is wrong. Either you continue, then you have to say either you continue in the club with following whatever our rules are, or you'll have to leave the club. There are only 2 ways. If you cannot fall in line with what the bylaws is or how we are moving forward, you'll have to resign. And if you have the guts to do that, let me tell you, you'll be one of the best people, because that is what we all have to learn to do today. You're always hiding behind people to say that you're a nice person by not facing the truth. That is all.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
What sort of members should we, how do we choose our members? I think in my PowerPoint on membership development, I gave a very brief synopsis. It is what Vimla ma'am said. And Dr. Sandhya, she was asking, isn't it? How do we know what sort of members we allow, that it's open, how they are? So just a few checks, a little thing like, first find out why she wants to join Inner Wheel. Is it because the president says, like Vimla ma'am said, because she needs a friend, and because the president is a friend, and just to show the the rate that the membership has gone up, the statistics, I join it, and just for 1 year, and I just enjoy that 1 year and go out. Is it why? What is the reason for her coming to Inner Wheel? Then why are we inviting her to join? What is? Do you think that she will contribute something worthwhile to the club? Now that invitation has come, that we're going to invite everybody whom we think fit. Again, it's why do you think her time and her talents will be put to the good use of the club? Then where do her talents lie? What is her sphere of interest? Is it organizing, writing, accounts, service, friendship, counseling? Just find out, try and find out. That is why we ask for the biodata. What is your interest? Talk to them and you can find out. And then is she ready to take up responsibility after, if we call her after about 2 or 3 years, when she's got used to the club and learns, is she ready to take up? Many of them just join and then they say, no, we're not taking up. We're happy to be just members. We don't want to take up any responsibility. And then and so you, as all of us have said again and again, you discuss the biodata of her in the EC. If it meets everybody's approval, then we can ask her to join. That's all. So
another thing, one thing now which is going to come, one thing which is saying, if you have any legal, suppose you have some sort of, suppose, okay, you've done fraud, and you have some legal thing against you. Or if it is known something like that, anybody knows, you cannot have that person as a member, really. I don't know. I'm not saying that this is going to, again, if a member gives a case against anything, now again, this one is coming in that we will not, you can ask them to leave the club. See, these sort of things, today, fraud in various ways, like you may be a gold smuggler or something. And if you know something like that, they really cannot continue as a member of the club. But I mean, you have to say it, because today there's so much of fraud happening, so these are things you have to be very careful while you take up members, because
But
women
how do we tell them, that we'd like you to leave the club? I mean, how do
that
we
is just
do
pass
it?
it in the general body. One individually you can't. You have to pass it, keep her and give her a chance. We always say you pass it in the EC, pass it in general body, and you have to give her a chance to speak also.
Oh, there's a
That she
time
has
limit
to
or something in which she
a
can,
chance
isn't
to
it? I
present
think.
her case.
Yeah, charges. Yeah. But that's very embarrassing.
Very thing. But then normally,
Very embarrassing.
if they have something behind, they will resign. They won't want that to be said public. This is the reason. If you tell them this is the reason, this is there. We've got these documents, which is against you in your characters as whatever. And which is not possible for a club like this too. I don't know. I mean, I'm just saying it suddenly occurred to me. I have no idea.
Yes.
Yeah,
So if we keep this close kind of check, find out who,
Yeah.
then I'm sure you'll get quality.
The number of people who are in fraud are many. So it's not, you'll be very careful about that. Yeah.
Thank
The
you.
easiest is not to get the subscription for the coming year. And
Yeah,
just
yes.
drop out.
Don't
take
people
the
like
subscription.
that to come with the subscription before everybody else.
That is the thing.
Very true.
Even before you can say anything, the subscription
Yeah,
comes and
will
lands
come.
at home. Then what do?
Yeah.
You can't send it back, no?
But these
Can
are
you
all
send it
very
back,
rare
Vimla?
Don't send her any
Yeah,
of our
you can't
invitations.
send it back, no?
So Vimla and Veena, I think these are very rare occasions. I don't think it.
No, the
occurs
incidence
very
is
often.
increasing.
There are
No,
clubs which have
Lakshmi
had problems like this.
We've had problems and
There
it's
are,
increasing also.
There are problems, ma'am.
Quite, I mean, 2 or 3 instances coming from certain areas where
Yeah,
came
there are
to our,
problems.
that's why I said came to our committee.
See, we are
Came to the
smaller
constitution.
towns like big towns like Bombay and Madras. I'm sure they have a lot of problems.
Yeah. They have more.
They have more. We have at a
And
lesser.
everybody, the problem is everybody wants to take up posts. So, especially Delhi and all ladder system, but my God, it's like tough. Because the husbands also are very particular that the wives go up in a wheel and all that. And the money part is so much. So there
is one thing, Vimla, I think you could reply. This question of removing members from the club. The club desires it. They want her out, but they're not going to tell her. But why they want her out? Because they feel that her character is not good.
Yeah.
So what do you do in such a situation? How can you interfere in her personal life?
If you don't invite her and you pass it in the EC and the general body, that's all. This is the reason why it is, and you have to have some
But
problem.
nobody has any concrete
You can't say, I
evidence.
heard about it, it's a big secret. You
Yeah,
can't.
yeah.
You have to be open about what you're saying.
Yeah, I've just. What do you do then?
Yeah, like Bina ma'am said, we don't have any concrete evidence for that.
Get that concrete.
That is the problem, ma'am. That is the
You
problem.
can't just say that, suppose I dislike you, Sandhya, I can't just say that, she's like that and I can't do it.
Yeah.
You have some concrete evidence. You can't, I mean, on my personal dislike, I can't send somebody out.
But in the entire club feels, but they just try that.
But see, sometimes
If that's a
certain
personal thing, just leave it.
Yeah. Especially if it's a personal, like, something wrong with a character.
Then you can't say
pinpoint
anything.
anything. Yes, you can't say anything.
Yes, and individually say this is a thing. First, you may not be able to continue. Why don't you resign? And best not to call her individually and say, I think it'd be ideal if you will resign because all these problems.
Yeah, that is the best thing. If she can resign, well and good.
Not to after you tell the members, but don't let her know. This is the ideal thing is that you resign in this area.
Okay, thanks.
Jembaganti, you're muted. We can't hear you.
See, once you decided in the general body meeting that you are going to chuck her out, she herself will resign.
Yeah.
Because it is.
Auntie is saying from experience.
Of course. I have experienced everything.
We've
So they themselves will get.
Yeah.
They'll give out the resignation, even if it is in the midnight they'll send it through email.
But very sad thing is, if you tell her to go out, she'll air a lot of dirty linen in public before she gets
very
out.
true.
So
Yeah,
that
that
makes
is
it
a
worse. So
problem.
might as well just keep quiet.
True.
Isn't it? And the whole
Yeah,
name
I
of the
agree with
entire
Veena
club
there,
will
true.
get spoiled.
When do we give them a chance to speak? Like before we take it to the general body? After we have passed in EC?
Best is, yeah, you take it to the thing. Before that, the EC has to decide. You have to get the EC approval, no? And then you say.
What I'm asking is after we
the EC and if they resign, it's ideal. You say it's best that, before it goes to general body. If you talk to them, if it goes to the general body, this is the problem. Because since it would be, more ideal for you and nobody will know about it. So why don't you just resign on personal? You can always say resign on personal grounds. You can have any reason to resign. Yeah. That's the best.
That's the best, correct.
Who is going to bell the cat?
Yeah.
In the EC.
Normally, person who tries to bell the cat will be shot after some time.
That's what. Who's going to bell the cat?
That person will be murdered.
Yeah, true. So we just keep quiet, I think.
Yeah.
No, I suggest whoever introduced that lady can introduce.
Be careful, know the background as much as.
Yeah.
See, like
Without evidence, you can't do anything.
Random, bigger places where you have people from varied this thing, Whereas like in a small town like Kottayam, we're all known, most people from generations. So it's a different type of membership in different areas because you have people who are working, you have people, moving around, transferred jobs. So then you don't know them so much. So you have to be extra careful. Small town, our smaller towns, you mostly know everybody since till their great grandfather also, most of them.
Yes, Lakshmi, you wanted to say something? Lakshmi?
No, whoever introduced that member, so you can ask her to bell. She can be the cat who bells the.
They will be
fully
enemies for
supportive
life.
of the member.
Before inducting her as a member, you should find out who is a friend of yours and also hers about her temperament, how she behaves. Is she a fighter cock? At home, how is she? At home and at the neighbors, how is she? You can just inquire. There's nothing wrong with it. Without hurting anybody.
No, all that is before we
can
join
just find
them,
out
but
if you know somebody
after we
friend of hers.
Or
Even the vegetable vendor can give a certificate. I tell you, even with the vegetable vendor, you can find out that. Andamma Chandakarama. I have seen people saying that.
We're going a bit too far.
And inquire about her husband also.
Don't laugh. Even the Sariana Pisi.
No, sometimes you can go wrong somewhere. I remember there was one incident in our club also where someone was talking very badly about one person, and that she talks only to the husbands. She doesn't bring her husband into the picture at all. This, that, everything, so much talk about her. But later on, it turned out it was nothing like that. She was a nice person only. So sometimes, you must be very, very careful in all these issues.
Yeah,
be
very
circumstances are so
one
different.
person's opinion,
Yeah.
These are all very rare situations. They really, really doesn't come up so much.
Yeah, very often.
Yeah, in a rare situations.
Probably we can, like Veena ma'am said, we can ask her why she wants to join. That should be a question to her, and let that member come up with 2-3 points. If we feel that genuine, then I think we will be able to.
Yeah.
But just by invitation, don't open it out. Nobody open up just saying that everybody can join something.
Yeah, better not.
Yeah, be careful.
Individually, we should be careful.
Yeah.
Because everybody
Character and all, we may not.
Okay.
Yes, Cinda.
Yeah, I would like to call someone else for feedback also. Ratnam from Kottayam, would you like to give us a feedback about what you felt about today's session?
Hi all. Am I audible?
Yeah.
Yes.
I missed a little bit. I was a bit late to join. I couldn't join in the beginning because it said that it has crossed 100 people.
We
So I
have
was just
The
watching
YouTube link
through-
was there.
Yeah, I was just watching through YouTube.
Good.
Lakshmi ma'am was taking the session and I really enjoyed it. And in the meantime, I was just checking through the laptop whether I can enter. So I got entry just before the CCC meet. Shailaja ma'am, that was actually we are doing it the third year, but still it was a refreshing one just to remind me what is to be done. It was really useful. Anyway, Cinda, congratulations once again. Okay, and to all the members, all the officials, district officials, may God bless you all. Anyway, about today's session, once again, it was very useful. Each part of it and the discussion after that was also useful. Vimla, Beena, all of you were discussing many things. Actually, we don't have such issues here in our small group, but that was what I was thinking. But these are the, it was actually informative that if something like that happens, we have to be careful. In our club, we don't have anybody from outside. We have only the Rotarians and somebody related. Nothing, nobody from outside is there. So we don't have such issues. Thank God. Anyway, nice that I could attend today's. I was a bit worried whether I'll be able to do because in school also lot of meetings are going on. So anyway, it didn't clash with any of those. So I'm happy that I could attend today's meeting. And anyway, all the best to all the new officials. Thank you.
Thank you, and good to hear from you, Ratna. Pichamma Adumagan, would you like to say something? Please unmute yourself and say.
Good evening to everybody. It was really very vivid and explanatory because I am, this year only I am taking CGC post. So I am new to this post. But Mrs. Shailaja ma'am was very vivid and also the portal by Anita. It was very nice and very useful to me. And I hope only few are new. All others are not new to this post. Anyhow, this session is very interactive and very vivid, and Shailaja ma'am's the explanation also very lively also. Seeing her the face, and Veena ma'am and Vimla Abraham ma'am, all are very efficient in the experience. So they also very explanatory in their explanation. But these issues discussed by them was not common in our club. So it is new to me. But anyhow, I have attended that and I have heard, oh, these are problems that may crop up. So thank you for the incoming chairman and my Anna ma'am who have organized this. And I wish good wishes for all the incoming Cinda and her team also. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you for that feedback.
May I say a few words?
Yeah, please.
This year I am the CCC in my club. Cinda used to do it.
Louder.
She was very efficient. And the session was very informative and interactive. So I should thank Lakshmi and Shailaja, Vimla. It was a wonderful session. So it was a very learning experience for me. Because interview is a passion, I took up this post. Thank you very much. Thank you, Cinda. Wish you all the best in your endeavors.
CCC, and now my DID is going to take up the post. And we're going to miss you, Shai Jojy, being in your group as CCC.
You can be as a DC. No problem.
So, Saudamini, would you like to say something about today's session? Unmute yourself, please.
Good evening to everybody. It is a very useful section from the first itself. I am attending all the meetings. I am very happy to have such a beautiful and evergreen leadership people who are giving nice talks, and there is no opportunity to ask any questions to you because it is very clear. Daily, every meeting was very clear to us, and especially only one thing that now Dr. Sandhya is asking, that is I thought in my point of personal view, if we have a friend, means otherwise some friends or some people giving ideas to get us some members inside, means I finished my psychology, that's why I'm telling you, at least we can't able to take immediately, that is a one point, and we have to at least watch for 2-3 months. After then we can able to understand what the inner quality of the person. If you try and talk with them, really you will be coming to understand what the inner people anyway. Within 3 months they will let you know what they will be. So from a whole section, means I am doing my personal counseling to people. From that I am telling you can able to understand, at least it will take 2 to 3 or 4 months personally, individually what they are. Then you can able to take them in the club with everybody's this acceptance. That is my small request, because even we are a small club and we are very happy with our small club, and we are like a family. We will discuss everything, we will do everything, we do everything in the joint work only. No separate, no president, no secretary, everything, everybody is the same. Only we are giving a part to do this like a president, like a secretary. But otherwise, in our club, we are very, very friendly. I am very proud to tell, because we are very friendly club, not a family club. Whole family is with our daughter, our son, and others' daughters, sons. Everybody we will be helping. In even this pandemic, we are roaming and helping others also. So anyway, everybody will get. And as says Vimala ma'am says, the increase of member is not a point of view. It is a point, but not very point of view, because when you increase the members, the confusion comes. Where to move. So better keep the very good people inside and grow the club. It is always be helpful with a healthy move. Thank you for the whole section, for the whole from the present to till now. Thank you, Cinda ma'am, and all the Anna ma'am, and all the everybody. A special thanks to every who takes steps to for the whole week. Every day 3 o'clock we will be very waiting in the Zoom to see everybody, and from tomorrow there is nobody. So always we will be alive at 26 on 3 o'clock for the installation. Great going, Cinda ma'am, all the best, and all the members, please pray for us for the pandemic, and we also pray for you for all the very good academic year. Thank you.
Thank you, and good to hear about the cordial relationship that you have in your club. So I invite Salila to say a few words. Salila.
Let me unmute.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Cinda. It was no doubt very informative and very lively. Really enjoyed the session, both Shaila ma'am and Lakshmi ma'am. And the session after the questionnaire session was more interesting. Really enjoyed, and wish you all the very best, Cinda. Your whole team. Okay, thank you.
That was Salila from Innovate Club of Kottayam. Shiva, would you like to say something?
Yes, Cinda ma'am. throughout all the sessions were very lively and interesting. But today's session, it was really wonderful. I should say special thanks to Lakshmi ma'am, because the whole session, was covered in a nutshell, and it was so crisp and clear, very informative. So thanks a lot, Lakshmi ma'am. Shailaja ma'am also. Frankly speaking, I didn't know the full form of CCC till recent. The other day I had requested mine in CC2 for the expansion. So she had in fact guided me properly. But today's session was really wonderful and very informative. Thanks to Shailaja ma'am also. I got a very clear idea as to the roles of each and every executive member. Thank you all. Thanks a lot. Stay safe and healthy. And wish the very best to Cinda ma'am. Thanks.
Thank you so much. Thank you for your feedback. Anyone else, would you like to say anything? Any other CCCs or questions? If you would like to share your viewpoint or any feedback about today's session. Any of the PDCs present here, would you like to say something? Lakshmi? IAC member Lakshmi? Yeah.
Cinda, it's wonderful. Actually, continuously பார்த்துட்டு இருக்கேன் with 8 days. இன்னைக்கு வந்து லட்சுமி ஆண்டியோட லட்சுமி மேமோட ஸ்பீச் வந்து ரொம்ப பாயிண்டா இருந்தது. At the same time, ஷைலஜா சேச்சி அவங்களோட பாயிண்ட்ஸ் வந்து ஓவரால் so effective, happy for all the seniors வந்து not only for the incoming club officers, they are very informative. They are godmothers for the district officers also. Thank you so much for all the seniors.
Thank you, Lakshmi. So shall we move on to the summing up?
Yeah.
I think your Wi-Fi has some problem breaking in between.
Lakshmika?
Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a good privilege. It was a privilege for me to, be a faculty today, and also as a summing up, I would say that I'm glad that I could pass on very useful information to all the EC, and I'm happy that they were also quite satisfied and they found it useful. And Shailaja, as usual, in her bubbly manner, she put forth a few points, but very valid points to the club CCCs. And as everyone else said, there was a lot of important discussions going on after both the sessions. I think that took up quite a lot of time, major time, and perhaps Dr. Sandhya started off this discussion with her question. Anyway, I mean, this seems to be a problem faced by a few clubs, by a few members. That is why we say that even when you take in members, you have to be so careful. So hereafter, I think the world is becoming wider. There are many categories of people moving around in the society. So we need to be very careful about whom we take in as members. And when we do not want some troublesome members, I think we have to be very diplomatic and see that there's no problem created by them after that. Because this year we've seen the district facing a lot of problems because of one particular ex-member in a club. So we know the difficulties faced given by troublesome members. And when we don't want them, we have to be very diplomatic, think many ways of, handling them, discuss it in the EC, and then try and not to bring it up with the general membership so that there are too many opinions on the matter. Just quietly do away with them and get them out of the club and make them resign. Or the better method is to get hold of the person who introduced them and ask them to put some sense into the other person and ask her to give a resignation letter. That would be the best way out, instead of confronting her headlong and then getting everyone into trouble and the club also into trouble. Anyway, it was a very healthy discussion, but I realized that many people have been facing problems because of these troublesome members. And it was good to have such an open discussion in the presence of all the EC, so that they will also know how to tackle when they face such a situation. So I think we should thank Beena and Vimala and everyone who came up with their valuable suggestions. So it was a very, and Cinda, it's not only a summing up for this session, I think we should say that the entire 8 days from the 20th to the 28th has been flown past like, unimaginably. We've enjoyed all the sessions. We've also imparted our knowledge, and we've also got some fresh insights into the problems and how it can be tackled. And we really enjoyed the way each faculty came out with, teaching that particular duty, either the president or the secretary or the ISO or the editor or the treasurer. Everything was so perfect. So much thought has gone into everything. And we are indeed, I think we should thank the pandemic for this particular aspect where we've been able to be face to face in so close contact. I don't think it would have been possible otherwise. As Vimala said on the first day, it would be a very short session, condensing everything, like each one sitting in one corner, grouped up and trying to be heard. And none of them would have, asked for clearing their doubts. There was no time or room for that. Everybody was wanting to sort of, get through the session and then go back to their respective homes. This was really very comfortable, very useful. Year after year, I think year after, this should be the method for the training session. So all my appreciations to Cinda for this year and Annam for showing the way of this very unique, way of getting along. So kudos to both of you. So both of you, I mean, it's nice to have one person lead the way, but then to have the next person also to be equally able and skilled to follow it up so that the district name and the flag will always be flying high is our good fortune. So let us praise God that the coming year will also be a glorious one. So thank you for giving me this opportunity of being a co-convener, Cinda. And I appreciate Vimala and Beena, and it's nice being working with you. So thank you all.
Thank you so much for that feedback, Andy, and thank you for the appreciation. I'll be coming back to my official vote of thanks later.
Let me recollect a few words by Dr. Muriel when she said that membership is the only permanent place in Innoville. PDC, president, secretary, all for 1 year only, or if not 2 years. Otherwise, only the membership is the permanent place. So think of it and conduct yourself well. She used to tell in the meetings. I recollect that. So friends, let us be a member of Innoville forever. That's my request. Whatever post we may have, let us be the true Innoville member. And I thank Cinda and all the others, from Vimala to the last person, for having spent this time very usefully. And I am recollecting all my old memories now. Because of this session, I'm like a newcomer. I'm learning. So thanks a lot for all of you all. Thank you, Lakshmi, being the co-convener, Vimala, Beena, and everybody. Cinda, all the best for you. Keep it up.
Andy. Now we move on to the co-convener, past association secretary, Beena Raja Singh.
I think, it's lovely being here today, and Lakshmika has already summed up so beautifully the entire thing, and so has Jambaka Akka given her own, take on it, and of course Vimla ma'am and the two faculty today, Lakshmika and Shailaja. There's a lot we learned. Even I learned so much, and it was, every day is a process of learning. So it's not only for the members who were listening with such rapt attention and clearing their doubts. So I really feel that, as Lakshmika said, we should have a Koti like this online every year. It's lovely meeting you, all of you, looking at your faces, your reactions, and the questions you ask. It makes it so lovely. It makes it so exciting to be, we feel one-on-one with you. Otherwise, as you know, when we had the physical, we'd be, people were more interested in getting it over and going for shopping. And we didn't have so much attendance because we had it on a separate day, and people had to come and stay, which was not possible for everybody. So when I looked at the number of participants, there were so many, and plus on YouTube too. So obviously all these 8 days have been so inspiring, so that even those for whom it is not on that particular day, they were asking us, can we come and listen? We want to learn, especially in the new clubs. I said, sure. I asked Cinda. She said, yes, if they want to learn, let them come. And they've been faithfully attending, to learn about the entire setup of Inner Wheel, how it functions. So it was amazing. And the question and answer session, we as seniors, we're just telling you possible problems. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to come at all, or maybe it will be there just in one club. It is unusual. But in case any kind of problem, these are all things that have happened. So we were just giving a bit of advice that if it happens, how to cut it at the root itself. Because one problem and then the club splits up, there are factions. So what to do? So that is what we were talking in general. Please don't take it personally. It is a general problem which may raise its head sometime, not now. All your clubs are good clubs. You have good members. And as you're going to induct quality members, a little, about this opening it to everybody above 18, we have to, I'm a little anxious about it. What sort of members are going to come? But then I know that your presidents and you are very capable. You have been given enough advice how to look for quality members, and you will follow it, I'm sure. And so Inner Wheel will grow, your clubs will grow, and you've learned everything. Shailaja, is like somebody said, I didn't know what CCC stood for. And Shailaja, they explained that this is what it is. Club is 3 and the district is 4. See, so we don't have to get confused about anything, every minor matter. And Lakshmika also, how beautifully she laid out everything, how an EC should function. It is like an EC is a mini assembly where you join, like a mini parliament, where the head puts forward a proposal and then it is discussed and then it is passed. So that is democratic. That is how Inner Wheel functions. So you have learned everything, every possible thing. You have been, told about certain possible situations that could come and how to avoid them. And so I'm sure this has been a very educative evening for you. Thank you, members, for your participation. We feel so good when you ask us questions. And then sometimes we put the questions ourselves just to give you, a little idea of what could happen, but may not happen. Okay, so thank you very much, Cinda. We come to an end today. And I don't know, like how these 8 days have passed, I really don't know. Apart from, you must have seen me sort of reclining like a Buddha sometimes. That's because I get twinges of back pain. And then I'm back up because it's so interesting to listen. I can't afford to miss even a minute. So I'm sure that excitement is there for all of you too. And thanks to Cinda, thanks to Annam, who led the way for all these things, for the online Koti and everything. And so now the assembly is also going to be, and we're all there. We're all going to support you. Both of you, the immediate past district chairman, the current district chairman, we're all there for you. All the members, all the EC, all the clubs, all the PDCs. So God bless you. Have a wonderful, wonderful year. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Now I'd like to invite Vimlandi, since this is the last day of our official quoting. During the final summing up, would you like to say something? And after that, we'll move on for the official summing up by our DC Annam. 1 minute, Annam. We'll go to Vimlandi first. And you have to unmute yourself. And you please
unmute yourself.
This is Chairman Annam and incoming Chairman Cinda. It's been a full week of, even though, of course, we pretended to be the faculty all the time, but we were also, it was a process of learning for all of us also. Because every example or problem somebody faces is one, sometimes you've not even thought of it. But we're trying to find solutions and thinking about it, and it is a learning experience for each one of us. So thank you so much. And it was so lovely, whoever asked that question. Before I came here, I didn't know what CCC was, because you should always ask simple questions, because sometimes we don't, until you take it up really, until you take up this post, you don't know what they are. And it's nice that whatever you think and whatever doubt you have, you bring it forward. Because, like, it's not that why should you, and if you're just a member, you don't need to know all this. So it's nice that you bring forward these simple questions for us to answer. And I would first like to thank Lakshmi and Shailaja for a very, very nice session, and they made it very simple and too easy to understand, and putting it all into a nutshell, so that you can go home and with the valid points in which your club can work. And remember, all of them are available for you to contact them for any clarity. Any of us, just a phone, all our phone numbers are there, just a phone call away. And it's nice that you sort of grow in understanding. And now with the open membership, you have to be very much more sure of how you take your membership, how the bylaws are important, how the constitution is important. All these things has to be a little more. Before it was, when it was a Rotary family, you knew who you're taking. But now it's changed. So please be very careful while you take your membership in thing. And as our district chairman, literally by her theme, lead the change, had to lead the change, right? I remember last day, it was not a joke. I keep saying it was like you didn't know, you were going into uncharted waters, I would say. You didn't know where you're going. You didn't know whether even you're getting a boat to go on it. But you went into it and it was stood firm. You took your boat in the right direction, and the same boat is carried on to the next year. That you've done it well. And see, and the important thing, all of you, when you're handing over from president to president or whatever role, like from chairman, keep a very cordial relationship. We should never think, sometimes it happens, my God, I don't want to tell her everything. Suppose she's better than me. This is a problem which many people have, because you don't want, whenever you give, I can tell you that I've been, when association presidents, when we are, especially when you go to the north, they give you so much of importance. Once I went to Amritsar, like I was running from one flight to another, and there was this man, I said, I'm going to Amritsar. He said, dude, I hope you know. I said, I know somebody there, we would meet you. But, when you go there, you get so much, there are 10 ladies with garlands standing like that. This man came back and apologized to me, saying, so sorry, I didn't, for asking that question, I didn't know you were that important. So it's like, and then you go to that high level next year, when the next person comes, nobody even looks at you. No, nobody wants a photograph with you. Till then, photographs only with you. Then suddenly everybody changes to the next. The day you hand over, you're nobody. But hand it over with grace, and never think that you're working for the organization, not for yourself. So whatever help the other person to grow, and let the organization, your club and the district grow. This is all you have to think ahead. When you take over, you think about it, not when you hand over, you don't want to sometimes tell them everything, I don't want them to be as good as me. That attitude should die from you. So this is one thing I think I would like to share with you, because you would see there's been excellent rapport between the chairman and the incoming chairman. And before that, Lakshmi was a super person. I'm just talking about the 3 years. We've had an excellent relationship. Each one, everybody in the EC are going to maybe become chairman. Remember this, hand over, whatever you're handing over, remember you're only working for the organization. as we say, once you're a chairman and out of it, you're back to being a member. So please remember this, and I wish you all the best. And remember, life is what you make it. It depends upon the foundation that each one of you lay. And to Sandhya, let me tell you, what you think and know is right. Please try to do that, because that's all you can for bringing up the club to what you want the club to be. And if you start your course, I mean, with all your force, every source of nature will turn back to you and help you to achieve your true success. This is very important, that, you know, when your heart, you know, everything, when I would say, sometimes when you listen to a speech, when a person speaks from the heart, it reaches you. But sometimes it's one written speech. Sometimes you give a speech or somebody else's, you know, you don't know what it is. It's a big difference. So remember that, work towards the organization from your heart, give of your best, and the best will definitely come back to you. And I congratulate you, Cinda, for organizing this beautiful forum, which we've all enjoyed. And I'm sure everybody is going back with greater knowledge. And I'm sure graduating well in the knowledge of Innoveel. And you know, there are, please, graduates, remember, don't you know, sometimes many of us graduates sits at home and only sit and do cooking. But in graduating from Innoveel, you'll have to convey it to your club and help others also to grow. So please enjoy Innoveel, and please stay safe. And like I always say, start your day with prayer, because now we not only for ourselves or your family, your town, and your state, country, everybody, you have to help them, because people you know so well are also down with illnesses and so much of depression and sadness around. So try to be happy. That's also important. And when you give something for other people, you'll be happy also. So enjoy the year. We've still got our assembly, and I'm sure we're going to see each other in our next class when you're going to learn something more about electronic media, which has been organized. Hope we'll all be able to be literate in that. Thank you so much, Cinda and Anam. Thank you so much. We've enjoyed your year, and all the best to each and every one of you.
So much, Auntie. Now for the final summing up of all the days, we have our district chairman ready to give us, from her point of view, what she felt about it, and some advice also to me, I think. Anam, please unmute yourself.
Yeah. See, I'm coming on another system, okay? So you'll be, are you able to hear me?
Little louder, please.
Little louder.
You're able to hear me? Is it okay?
Yeah, but it's a little feeble. Can you be a little more louder or come closer to your system?
Okay now? Is it okay now?
Yeah.
Is it okay?
Yeah, sort of.
Sort of. Okay. I think so many systems I'm trying with, but something or the other is going on. Now is it clear now? I'm speaking
better. Yeah.
Okay, so good evening to one and all present here. As we come to the close of an 8-day session of Siksha, it is my pleasure to render the summing up of the whole program. Every day it was an online class for all of us, and just like our children, we used to get ready and wait for Siksha. So it started off with the president session with our faculty, past International Innoveel Board Director Vimla ma'am and AC member Lakshmi Vardhani Rajeshwaran. A well-prepared PPT by Vimla ma'am was forwarded to the presidents, but she took the session on a very friendly note, addressing the responsibilities of the presidents, and made it very interesting so that we could understand the guidelines on a lighter note. A well-handled technique which we should all learn. Co-faculty AC member Lakshmi Vardhani, a teacher by profession, handled with a touch of professionalism, which depicted her passion and dedication for her profession. Her explanation of the famous quote, Varappu uyara neer uyaram, and ending it with Kol uyarndal kon uyaram. That was all understood by everybody, whether it was a member of Malayalam or a Tamil member. Everybody enjoyed that, understood that, and it was all well appreciated. Next, moving on to the second session was for the secretaries and the faculties were PDC and District CCC Shailaja Pankaj and District Secretary Surya Prabha Rajashekharan. The elaborate PPT had included all the simple as well as the samples for all official work of the secretary. This could be saved for easy reference, flipped over when and where needed. Kudos to Shailaja and Prabha for the sincerity and dedication to include all the minute details. PDC Shailaja is always very bubbly and with her clear-cut approach made us all sit upright and listen carefully. Prabha had taken pains to find many equivalent Tamil words and explained every line of the PPT with much care. That was a great effort to complement each other, and the flow went on undisturbed. So the next session was on membership development and e-voting. This is a very interesting topic and was well explained by a PPT by past Association Secretary Beena Raja Singh, and this remains as her pet subject too. This year's expansion of the district goes to her great motivation. Every year we have the explanation by her, but she never gets tired at all, but indeed explains with so much of enthusiasm, and the subject remains fresh in our minds always. The many doubts were cleared and the new changes were also mentioned by our convener PDC Lakshmi Perinan. Everything on Yi is very simple. Only we have a big mind block to understand and take it to our day-to-day life. So the explanation on e-voting, which was done by me, was very simple, and hopefully it was understood.
Not audible, Anna.
Be more louder, please. Annam, we can't hear you at all.
No, it's got muted. The thing is muted. See, that's why we can't hear her.
Annam?
Muted, yeah.
We can't hear you. Annam?
She's not looking up. That's the thing. She's speaking to the phone.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she's muted.
We can't
hear you. Anam, you.
Can you hear me now?
Very.
Can you all hear me?
Can you have to unmute yourself?
No, that's a
No. She's
That's
on
the
two
step.
systems.
Next, I think you all can hear me.
Yeah.
Yeah, now we can.
Next session, we were talking about the treasurer section. It was
Yeah.
well handled by Veila, and her own experience looking into the finance of her business gave her a lot of experience to explain with clarity. The practical experience of a district treasurer, Anita Natarajan, by her expressive narration, explained the difficulties faced by her and how she started her tenure and how confident she became at the end of the term. This gave a lot of practical tips to the treasurer, which are sure to be remembered. Then we go on to the ISO session. The ISO session was handled by our PDCs Jaya Chandrahasan and PDC Jayanti Ramkumar Raja. We could experience a twin sister effect who had sat up together for some days in deep preparation of the subject, and on the final day of presentation gave as much as they can, adding innovative ideas and suggestions like branding of Inner Wheel in a special way. Hats off to their dedication in preparing the notes and delivering it in the most effective way. Next, we go on to the editor session. It was handled by a trio, PDC Kamala Manimulyan, PDC Ruki Rani, and the district ISO Pushpa Koshi. The three complemented each other, and it was well-organized session which cleared all the doubts. Pushpa's PPT was too good and her explanation was very, very clear. PDC's Kamala ma'am and Ruhi ma'am explained with patience and in a practical manner which was easily understood. Then we move on to the goals. It is like the icing on the top of the cake, and it was shared by our incoming district chairman, Cinda Jojy. So that was, we experienced so much in her PPT, and it was for everything. She has given a very good presentation, which will stay really good in our minds. And also during this pandemic, the verticals were much explained. The IIW girls were brought into the district goals. So everything was included at one shot. And then the many the PPTs, and then her explanation. She had spent a lot of time to do that much of homework, because we know it is not a day's work. It must have taken a lot of time to get so much of references, and then give it so liberally to all the presidents, so that now they are really packed with ideas and they'll be planning on their own. So that was a very good session, and we really have to appreciate you. And you have taken up, you're graded to take up the chairman's post, and for sure you will really do good, and you will really safeguard the presidents and answer them any amount of questions which they ask you. So all good wishes to you, Cinda. And like today's session, when we go on to the guidelines for the CCC and the Club EC. The Club EC guidelines was given by our PDC Lakshmi Periyanan. Actually, we have taken the nearly 5 into 3 hours for the sessions now, but everything was given in a nutshell. It was so clear, actually going through all the sessions, and now this was just coming back and making a reminder of what we have all learned the previous sessions. It is not only for the presidents, but also for the EC, for everyone. And we experienced that again by giving a recap of what happened, and then getting ready for the exam or whatever for the preparation. So it was all given in a nutshell, very crisp and clear. And I really like the 4 steps of the healthy attitude and the accomplishment which she gave, which was really, we need all these sort of things to move ahead with people around us. So that was a lovely presentation. And then, as usual, our bubbly CCC, she will always, even if you are a little dull, by her words, she will make us sit up right and then listen to her. And that was that CCC was always, there was something, does it mean CCC? Should she be in the district, the committee or not? So many questions last year it was going on, because half through the year we used to get some information and we didn't know how to implement it, like both of us, Shailaja and me, because half of that will be in the letter pad and half of them will be in the EC. So we didn't know how to do that. So finally we came to a decision this year, and finally we're giving everything, and she has explained everything, including all the proposals which were carried off at the convention. And now people know what is a proposal, what is a convention, what is a triennial. Only now they know all these terms. Otherwise, even when I was a president sometime back, I used to look only into the president's, whatever has to be carried on. This triennial and this convention was all above me. I never used to look into all these sort of things. So now everybody has come. These sessions have made it very, the concepts and duties and all the things have made it clear, and we are repeating it always. Every time we are repeating these words, so that rings in their ears, every time it goes on, so they are becoming familiar with that. So today's session was a wonderful session. And going on to our conveners, it is not an easy job to sit all 8 days, now almost 9 days I should say, starting from 20th, and sitting around 3 to 4 hours is not an easy job. I also keep turning and twisting and doing everything to sit for those 3 hours, but they sit patiently. And not only sitting you are sitting around for the meeting, you have to keep your ears wide open, so that to listen to everybody. And that is the thing which makes us very tired. I have experienced as a chairman, the chairman's speech will be somewhere around the last the last agenda will be the chairman's speech. So from the first agenda you have to be very careful to listen to everything, and you just can't just while away the time or just flip on something else. But that was so much of attention given to all the questions every day, and the interactions amongst themselves and the faculty. That was really lovely to see, because there was no egos around, and there was always a kind manner in which they each complimented each other. And even when the faculty had 2 people had to do together, they would always say, can I do this or can I do this? So that was so nice to see that. And the conveners did the same thing. Almost they used to bring in so much of discussions by themselves. It used to start off, but then that will be of great use to the members. And as Lakshmi aunty told, for the EC, at least what is happening around us, and everything we can know. We came to know about that, and that conversations really held very good. And I really thank them and appreciate them for all the patients, the conveners and the co-convener, for being with us all this while. Thank you, Vimla ma'am, Beena, and Lakshmi auntie, for the patience which you all are. And I can see always all of you smiling and answering all the questions. So that was great encouragement for us also. And then the participants or the students over here, we have nice faculty, everybody well charged and well thing, but the student has to be very attentive. If not, the whole thing is going to be a failure. But here all the participants for any session, they were and the Zoom meet used to show around 70-80 people, and sometimes even it exceeded, it came to the full thing of 100. So they were not only sitting there, but they were asking us so many questions which wouldn't have happened in a physical meet. Now the whole sort of attention was here. So everybody, there's so many questions propping up, they asked us, and that is the interaction which shows the success of any meeting. And so that was really, it was a great success because their interaction was there, and they participated in the open discussions. And even whatever they were, when they were given to ask for the feedbacks, they came out very freely. So this is another thing when they get ready to be the presidents or anything of their official of their club. So I should thank all the participants who were here with us, and we will really miss all these 8 days from tomorrow. Now it looks as if we have graduated, just like Cinda's cover page of Siksha. All of us are graduated with a certificate in hand and a graduation cap, and feels proud to have been a part of Siksha. Thanks to our incoming district chairman for organizing this session in the best possible way with the expertise faculty. By now that we are prepared with all knowledge to enter into another new year of Inner Wheel, my hearty wishes and congratulations for another successful year of friendship and service. Stay safe and also have the compassion to serve as much as you can. Together we can work wonders. Once again, best wishes to all of you, and thank you, Cinda, for this opportunity. Please do remember we have the digital training session, an eye-opener to the wide digital world. Keep enjoying Inner Wheel and keep enjoying friendship. Thank you, Cinda. Hope I was audible.
Yes, you were. A special clap for that.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Anna. Yeah, so now we are moving on to the last part of this last day. We are moving on to the vote of thanks. District Chairman Annapurni Odayapan, my co-EC members, convener of Siksha, past International Inner Wheel Board Director Vimla Abraham, co-conveners, past Association Secretary Beena Raja Singh, past District Chairman Lakshmi Pediyanan, and District CCC Shailaja Pankaj, the galaxy of PDCs present here, club presidents, club CCC, and CGRs and other office bearers who are watching through Zoom as well as YouTube. A pleasant good evening to one and all. First of all, I would like to thank Annam for this beautiful year you have given us. As everybody was saying, during the last year, we were not quite sure as how we would conduct the year. But I think our association president, Vasudaji, has given you a beautiful example and wonderful lead, which helped you all with long hours of training session. And the same thing Annam imparted to us. She gave us 1 day for each session. And this year, like you and what you did as an example, I was following the same. And last year itself, after the Koti, I told Annam, see, even if my assembly is going to be a physical one, I would like to conduct my club officers training as a virtual one. And I think this has become very useful and effective way of imparting knowledge. Thank you, Annam, for that lead, and thank you for the beautiful year. Like, while everybody was saying about how like one person should understand and follow from the predecessor, what I was thinking was about the college days during the practical class. When you have 2 sessions, you might be divided into 2 groups, and my friend was always in the first group. So I used to ask her before my session, like what all you did in the lab. Now we have a lot of explanation in the text, but some practical knowledge which they give from their experience, it benefits us so much. That's how I was doing. Even with regarding small matters, whatever is given in our green book and blue book, I would ask Annam, like, what did you do? So thank you, Annam, for those simple tips. And my dear co-EC members have been with me, encouraging me during the session and as being faculty for the session along with the PDCs. Thank you so much for being there and for spending your valuable time here. And moving convener, our past International Innovative Board Director, Vimlandi, like, thank you so much. This thanks I'm saying from the bottom of my heart for being there, like not just on Zoom. I had the freedom to call you whenever I wanted to. I could ask you anything and you immediately used to clear the doubt. And here too, for anyone, any doubts we are having during the query session, whether it was your day or not, like throughout the week, you were there to clear everything. Thank you so much for that. And moving on to my co-conveners of Siksha, past Association Secretary Veena Raja Singh. Thank you so much. Like from my days as District Secretary, I used to approach you for any tiny, minute doubt of mine. The way you taught me to prepare my minutes, that was remarkable. Thank you so much. I know you have been doing this for all the members, not just the office bearers, but all the members, you have been trying to bring them up. Thank you so much for this. And co-convener, past district chairman, Lakshmi Periyanan, you are a walking encyclopedia, and I would say the most elegant PDC, but at the same time, very approachable. Thank you so much for agreeing to be the co-convener and for being there, motivating us, guiding us. Thank you so much, Andy. I know it might not have been an easy step accepting to be the co-convener and spending 3-4 hours daily. It's not for one day, it has been for 8 days. To all 3 of you, I thank you all from the bottom of my heart. And along with them, we had our DCC, Shailaja Pangit, and a few PDCs attending every day. Jambagandi, I hope you can hear me. You have been also an inspiration and motivation to us, because even at this age, you are with us. All 3 hours, you have been sitting and giving some wonderful feedbacks also daily. Thank you so much, Auntie. And moving on to today's faculty, our bubbly DCC. You have encouraged all the club CCCs and the office bearers in doing a wonderful duty. And you have made everything so simple. Even I was doubtful about the CCC part for the clubs, whether it was 2C or 3C. And even when somebody asked me yesterday, I told them that tomorrow we'll ask our DCC for the final clarification. Thank you for clarifying all our doubts. Thank you, Shail Chechi. And co-faculty of today, co-convener of Siksha, you did a wonderful job putting all the 8 days classes as into a small nutshell, explaining everything so crisply, so that even those who missed their own session did get a knowledge or know-how about what is to be done and how to go along with their roles. Thank you so much, Lakshmi Aunty, for that valuable session you did. It might have been difficult going through all the sessions and putting everything together in a nutshell, but you did your job very brilliantly. Thank you so much. And all the PDCs, I thank you for being here. The club presidents and club CCCs and all the other office bearers who are attending via the YouTube session, thank you so much for your presence. And these questions you put towards the end, the feedbacks you give, that really is very useful. Maybe some of our sessions, like we finish it very fast, but it is during this interactive session that we get to know more and we talk a lot. I think that might have benefited all of you also. Thank you for coming out and asking all your doubts and all your questions. And wait, this is not the last day of Siksha. We have 3 more days, though it's not official with Innerweal. We have 3 days of digital training, because in this period of pandemic, we are not going out much, and we are all like, we have become a little tech savvy, but still like we have some doubts regarding the correct way of doing. Because I know many things I do, but when my son comes and do what I might have taken half an hour to finish, within 5 minutes he'll finish that. So I think there is a lot we have to learn, and we'll be having training by one of the best faculty. She's Aparna Biyani from Calcutta, and she'll be giving us 3 days training session starting from May 30th, June 2nd, and June 5th. We are having this in between breaks because she thinks like whatever we learn on the first day, we must put it into practice. Only when you start practicing it, will you get some doubts, so that the second day you can clear on what she taught you on the first day, like whatever doubts you have regarding the previous day's session. So when you learn from her, please make it a point that you just do some practical session on your own, so that you will come geared up with some questions to ask for the next day. And to you, I would like to say one thing, that we are having our assembly on June 26th. To each office bearers, what I would like to say, Christians, this is your year. Lead with courage. Secretaries, you will be joining the presidents. Have to be efficient to organize. So organize with efficiency and serve with love. And the treasurers present here, remember that you are accountable for the money. It's not from your pocket that you are taking. It's the club money that you are accountable for. So budget wisely and be very transparent in your dealings. And to the editors, you all know this, that pen is mightier than the sword, but be very careful while using it. You are the mouthpiece of your club. So whatever you write in your bulletin, it has a widespread. Now that we are using e-bulletin, it goes everywhere, not just in our district. It might reach anywhere, and through social media, it's going worldwide. So be very careful in what you write. And to dear ISOs, you are the friendship ambassadors. You are having such a nice office in your club. So make sure that you use your post wisely, make lots of friends, not only in the district, but worldwide. Innerweal, being an organization which is spread in over 99 countries, this is an ample opportunity we are getting to spread up, to increase our friendship and make friends. And along with that, you can also try to brand our organization. Nowadays, very important, much importance is given to branding Innerweal. And ISOs with your competitions, you can try branding Innerweal. So next year, when you take up job, think of all what our faculty has been teaching you, make good use of it, put it into use. And I wish all of you a wonderful year ahead. Once again, thank you all for attending, and thank you for giving all your valuable time, 3 hours a day. Thank you so much for being here. And together, I hope we'll have a wonderful year ahead.
Thank you. Very good.
Thank
so
you.
Congratulations again.
Thank you.
Cinda. And all the best. Look forward to the training session and as
technical
well as
session.
the assembly.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll start with the first session.
Yes,
All
the
the
best.
best. Bye. Bye, everyone.
Bye. Bye.
Bye. Bye. Take care. Bye.
You know how long would it be?
Yeah, like 1.5 to 2 hours it would be.
Okay.
What time? What time, Cinda?
3 o'clock.
Session. Like if you have more doubts, it might take a little longer. So I'll be posting about that also. Thank you all once again. And Sarma, thanks to you for helping me air this session via YouTube.
Bye. Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye, everyone. Bye. Take care. Bye.
Bye.